It's after dark in the afternoon. It's happy first contact day, but keep your hands to yourself for practicing social distancing. Besides, you don't want to get me too'd. That's right.
Hey everybody, Midnight's Edge after dark in the daytime. Well, it's daytime where I am.
Yeah, it's like before 4 where I'm at, so it's still pretty early afternoon.
Yeah, it's like 4:30 actually. Well, you guys saved me from wasting money on eBay. eBay is still a thing, you know that?
eBay? Yeah, I still use it.
Oh yeah. On today's show, Rob makes coffee. Script Doctor says, "Huh?" And Tom sits down. I don't know. That's. Script Doctor, did you ever watch?
You
Top
mean
Gear?
I ever stood up?
Yeah. Script Doctor, you ever watch Top Gear?
I think whenever I usually go traveling, I always find it on the television there. Just a bunch of British guys talking about cars and driving stuff.
Yeah, but when they were used to intro it, he goes, "On tonight, I throw a chair over a hedge. Richard picks up a man, and James goes sailing." You know, something stupid like that. You know.
Yeah, that's a classic intro to a lot of British shows too. Oh, there's another one that's like that, which is escaping me at the moment. I used to watch it on PBS as a kid because I'd be up late and that would be the only thing on.
Bill takes a shit.
Like Robot Wars also has a simple thing like that too, way back in the day.
Bill flies a plane and Bill's gonna try some vegetables.
Tonight, Tom goes to the loo. Mecca dyes her hair. Rob makes popcorn, and Script Talker goes back to school.
Rob really wants popcorn. That's the first thing he fucking says when we jump on here. He's like, "I really want popcorn."
I don't know why. Hey, only 30 calories per serving. So
I'm warning you, I'm running like super fucking hot, so I might calm down just a tad. But we're still running over 200 here.
Mood Point says he can't afford eBay. Spends too much on Indiegogo comics.
I know I spent like 80 some bucks on fucking Cecil's comic, and he still ain't messaged me back, the dirty bastard.
Hill CT says, "I am not Jeremy Clarkson." No kidding. No kidding. Never claimed to be. Tonight, you know. He's got a much better bank account than I do.
What about Ron Jeremy?
No. I'm not Ron Jeremy either. I'm not even Harry Reams. So what's going on? So today's actually First Contact Day.
Yeah, about 33 years before the supposed initial event, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Zaffron is like what, 12?
No, he's like 20 because he's like 50.
He's already? Okay.
Yeah, he was like 50 when he was doing that, right? James Cromwell was pushing 60 when he did the role, so.
I don't know. Cromwell's one of those that was kind of like he was always looked older than he really was, though.
Kind of like Max von Sydow.
Exactly.
Max von Sydow looked like he was 100 when I was a little kid. Jeez.
The power of Christ compels you.
I mean, yeah, jeez. Well, hard living used to age him worse back then.
He had to exorcise the devil out of that little girl. Of course, he looks like that.
Do you know? I saw actually The Exorcist for the first time in 2004. Believe it or not, I really didn't have that. Horror movies are not my thing. And the opening scene, it says Iraq, whatever it is. And I'm like, wow, Iraq actually looks exactly the same, all rocks and sand. It looked bombed out back then, and it's bombed out now.
Nothing has changed. I guess Boris Johnson is in the hospital.
Yeah, Boris Johnson, BJ, yeah. Bojo, whatever you want to call him. What do you people, even from the UK, what do you call them? Bojo? Nutcase? What do you call him?
Boris, like that. I don't think they
Boris.
give him a nickname. They don't care enough of that.
There is no news.
Does he always chase after moose and squirrel?
Oh, that'd be nice. We do need a Boris and Natasha. Just get like it was Jason Alexander, and who is the other one?
Oh, it was Rene Russo, but they weren't that bad.
Wasn't Sally Kellerman?
No, Rene Russo played her in the movie.
Oh, okay.
They did years ago though. They did a Boris and Natasha movie for like Showtime or HBO, and I can't remember who played him in that.
Oh,
of course, it didn't have Rocky and Bullwinkle, but it was just Boris and Natasha. No. Yeah.
You know who actually was? That was actually Sally Kellerman and the guy from Bob and Doug.
That was what I was thinking. Yeah, that might have been the one she was in. Yeah.
Natasha, we must catch moose and squirrel. I remember
So it's Dave Thomas?
Yeah, Dave Thomas, yeah. They were going to Washington to spray them with goof gas.
Yeah.
And he goes, look, we don't need to spray them with goof gas. They've already been exposed. Mr. Senator, I propose a $72 million committee to find out why the government is spending so much money.
Guy, I wonder if that movie still stands up. I haven't seen it since it first came out on cable.
We're going to take Washington. Won't that be difficult, darling? He goes, no, easy to take Washington. Look at the newspaper. Cleveland takes Washington 7-2. Anybody can take Washington.
Oh shit! So yeah,
there's a baseball joke in there, somewhere.
There's nothing really that important to talk about. It is First Contact Day. We've talked about maybe doing a watch party, but I don't know. We'll see here.
Go watch our new video about the main channel, though.
Oh, the 5-year plan that Kurtzman supposedly has.
Have you heard about this?
I've never heard of those details about it. I mean, I remember when the article for the Star Trek Enterprise Pike show dropped, which I believe that there's somebody who wants a Pike show. I don't believe they'd call it Enterprise for a second.
That's the name that keeps getting floated around, and I think that it confused some people a little while back. They were thinking they were bringing back Enterprise for another season.
Yeah, like there are television series that have had same or similar names. Like La Femme Nikita is a frequent one. There's been like 3 series with that same name.
Well, yeah, because they're all based on the same shit.
They're all based on the same thing, but I believe there's the same rights holder is involved. Like there's enough production familiarity between them that they're not able to have any sort of rights issues with that. But even like some of the revivals that we're seeing now, like there's a Roswell is rebooted and on TV, and that's just like what the series was in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's even by the same network, but they don't call it Roswell again. They call it Roswell something else. Like they have an addendum to it.
New Mexico. Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah.
They call it.
As far as our report on Midnight's Edge After Dark, like, we say take it with a heavy duty grain of salt, or more than
take
just
it with
a grain.
Salt shaker, really.
Well, have you seen the video? We have a mountain of salt there.
Yeah.
Well, because this is not a normal source. We weren't able to completely vet the source. A lot of the stuff that was told to us sounded like counter. I don't want to call it counterintelligence, but it's like it was kind of
information.
Not so much even disinformation, but against what we've heard before. But as we put in the video, it could be something to where it depends on who they're hearing it from, and that's where like Andre puts in the metaphor about the elephant, the 6 blind man and the elephant, depending on how they come into contact with the elephant, that depends on what they think it is. Yeah. And that's kind of where we see this, because a lot of the stuff does sync up. There's things we've heard, but this could be the person. I'm not going to say where they work. But yeah, this was like probably one of the more removed people we've ever discussed stuff with, and we tried to vent it as best as we could. Some of the stuff does match up and line up with things we've heard before, but some of the other stuff, sounds like wishful thinking and kind of like propaganda almost was kind of what the word I was looking for. Like they're getting fed information from people who want to spread a specific narrative.
To their own gain, because if the people are starting to talk about a project that's maybe in consideration but not actually greenlit or fully developed, that could always turn the tables to actually get a go-ahead. I know those types of tactics. I know people who have done it. I've also had to partake in it as well years ago, where a show gets maybe like 2 inches closer to getting like a meeting, and in order to drum up interest, they start spreading some projected rumors to try and secure that meeting and hopefully wow the people inside so that they get funding and a go ahead.
They're trying to create advanced buzz.
Exactly. Yeah, you're manipulating an audience, and also it costs nothing to test the grounds on if the idea is going to be good or bad before you actually put pen to paper. So if Kurtzman's just speculatively like hitting 5 to 10 different projects at the same time, seeing which one might stick, and then hopefully getting a go ahead on that. And so far over the past almost 3 years now, the Section 31 series hasn't even budged.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, and I did whatever I had to do to kind of push this source a little bit on certain things. And yeah, I got to a point where we felt comfortable enough with running the story, but still we felt like, big grain of salt. But that's the thing we always kept hearing about Kurtzman, is that he's one of those, he loves to push all these things that aren't necessarily greenlit. And that's what we keep hearing. We keep getting the same kind of things you're talking about. Script Doctor, where even Mecca, she gets them too, and I'm sure Gary and Doomcock do too, where people will push these stories from some third party site you've never even heard of before, saying that Discovery's been renewed for 5 seasons.
They barely were able to afford the 3rd season, let alone like to get 4 and 5.
Well, yeah, and it's left out of the thing in the video because it's going to probably come up later. But they were shooting for 33 days.
I heard that too.
So you heard that before I reported that.
I heard that on Thursday, just after I dropped my Picard review. I was trying to fall asleep, and I was just like calling around to people who I knew were still awake at the time and asking what's up. And one of my buddies was saying, yeah, some people that he was talking to on the phone who came back from Canada were like, yeah, we were up there shooting the last episode of Discovery, and it was like the longest episode they've ever had production on in their careers.
Like last?
Yeah. Well, like they don't know if it's like at the end of the series. They just said it was the last. They're all worked in like sections, so none of them actually knows the full script. They get like 2-3 pages. That's what they work on for.
The writer doesn't know the whole script. It's all right.
There's that as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And for those who are unfamiliar with him, joining us is Jesse Miller at the Crow's Nest. Jesse, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just some random asshole from Connecticut. I don't know why they let me in here. I think I found a key.
How have you guys not gotten together yet? Because you guys can't be that far apart, are you, Rob?
No, we're not. We were going to go to bar. We were supposed to go to Barcade downtown.
Yeah, that's true. And then like,
I can imagine. Because that's my thing. Is like, shit. If I was that close to Jesse or you guys, I'd be like, let's do something.
Well,
like Orange is one of the
few
closest ones I've found so far that's nearby me.
No. Tri-State area, it's got basically Rob, me, Mike Anger, and then further down is Pete.
I don't know.
Ginger Viking
I was going to say
Pete's
over that way
on the other side.
Yeah.
Hey, Mecca.
Hey.
How you doing?
Long time no see.
Yeah, since before I went to sleep.
Somebody is texting me pictures of meat. Who is it? Meat. Like somebody's cooking something, and I don't know if it's somebody
People just send you random food porn.
That's what I was like. What is just somebody sending you a message by sending you raw meat or something?
Like, I know you enjoy barbecue cookout. Look at these ribs.
But I don't know if it's like somebody I know or if it's somebody who's attached to because I've reset my phone.
It's probably a stranger. It's okay.
I mean, it looks good.
I have one picture of ribs actually on my phone.
That's where you answer back. What time do I got to be there?
Yep. You failed to put an address. Who should I bring potato salad?
Bless you, Rob.
Thank you.
Oh no, you've got the kung flu. You're gonna die.
No, I'm not gonna die of the kung flu.
I better not.
Are we avoiding current events or not?
We could not. We've already kind of just whatever. We haven't really talked about much of anything other than it's first contact day. But you got to social distance yourself, so keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, that's funny.
That's really good.
I was thinking about doing a stream watching First Contact, but then I realized I don't want to watch Star Trek anytime soon.
That was kind of what Rob asked me too. I'm like, he's like, "You want to watch First Contact?" I'm like, Not really.
Yeah, because I had asked him earlier too. I'm like, we probably should because it's first contact day, but I don't want to watch it. I don't want to fucking watch Star Trek anymore. Brett Spiner's an asshole. He
that's
blocked me
like,
on Twitter.
Proper had asked us if we want to do like a thing where we all watch Discovery, and I'm like, why don't you just watch the original series so that you're not like torturing yourself?
Exactly.
It's like that'd be down.
It's like I have the perfect pop-up for that. It's the Romulan shooting herself in the head and the other one clawing her own eyes out.
I got to go with Mecca on this one. It's just like, you know what? I think I've done my Star Trek time for a while. I want to not look at something Star Trek for a little bit at least. Mm-hmm. Captain here sent us $5.
Why are we selling the fact that Alex Klutzman had first contact with an episode of Star Trek? He should be exposed a long time ago.
Yeah, Klutzman sucks. I got my hair done today, though.
Ooh, actually, then you weren't lying, Rob.
Looks very silky.
What did he say?
He did one of those fake like intros, like today on Midnight's Edge After Dark, Tom takes a dump, Mecca dyes her hair, and Rob can't find popcorn. I don't know. That wasn't what he said, but you dyed your hair in there.
Well, yeah, because we were just talking before, and I'm like, shit, I gotta get I was like getting ready. We were just hanging out on there. I'm like, okay, I'm getting my video ready, getting my shit together, get my topics ready, and then I saw your stream pop up. I'm like, shit, I guess he's doing one now. I gotta go make a video, so tell him I'll be in a minute. So
yeah,
I'm ready to get my video in. Huh?
This is the first time I've ever seen you guys go on where it wasn't nighttime.
I know. Well, sometimes
we do
we'll
once in a while.
like what, like watch parties and shit on.
Yeah, once in a while.
I was thinking of getting in on that whole watch party vibe, but I got to find the right movies, and they have to be ones that are available on YouTube, so I can just be like, everybody watch it together, and you don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of free to watch YouTube ones.
There are.
We did meet weeks ago.
What was that, Rob?
It's not that terrible.
Oh, Meatballs.
I think there's an old horror movie called Cellar Dweller on YouTube.
Cellar Dweller.
Cellar Dweller.
You guys know?
And there's a comedy called Class Reunion also on YouTube. I think 1980.
Would that be National Lampoon's Class Reunion? That's a horrible fucking movie. Like
it is a
horrible,
very messed up
movie.
It is really.
Yeah. They had something. They had like Teen Wolf on there the other day.
Teen Wolf's good. I got that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. It's been 2 years.
I have the Shout Factory Blu-ray of that.
Now, every time anybody brings up 1980s Michael J. Fox, I always bring up that I would have liked to have seen him play Spider-Man.
He would have been perfect in the 80s for Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. The effects would have been terrible, though.
With great power comes great responsibility, Doc.
And it's Doc Connors. He's telling Doc saying to it.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd playing Uncle Ben.
You're like some kind of crazy lizard.
Peter, with great power comes something I forget, but it's important.
Oh, Back to the Future. The one screw up in that movie, I think, is that Doc Brown has a hair dryer.
Actually, that's not a screw up.
It's not? You researched this?
I know this for a fact
nerd.
because it's in a deleted scene that was in the TV version and is on the Blu-ray and DVDs. The one and few deleted scenes there is, where Doc is going through Marty's his suitcase from the future.
Oh, he finds the hair dryer.
And he finds the hair dryer and a Playboy.
Damn.
And what does he say? He says something like, "Wow, the future is astounding," or something like that. He looks
he looks over and he just says astounding.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Astounding.
I probably thought it was a ray gun.
Well, no, he was talking about the Playboy.
Oh,
yeah. Because Marty McFly has the hair dryer when he's pretending to be Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan.
Yeah, that was all in Doc's. Remember when Doc put a suitcase in the front of the DeLorean? Yep. Yeah, that's what he.
Yeah, he's allergic to all synthetics, so he has to have that natural cottons and stuff.
But it's actually not a plot hole. It was a deleted scene. I don't know why they deleted it. They could have left it in there. It's like literally like 30 seconds long, I think, maybe a minute.
Not even. No, I think it was like 10 or 15.
And for some reason it was added into the TV version, but yeah.
It was in the 80s, so they were probably like, Tipper Gore probably saw it and was like,
probably because of it was probably because of the Playboy thing, you're right. It was probably we're not going to push the boundary with that, yeah.
Nowadays, I could pull out a Playboy right here and screen share it, and you won't even get.
Then again, at that time, I doubt it, but they could have been like, that might have been the one thing between a PG and a PG-13 that they said.
Which is
but
ridiculous, because nowadays PG-13 has boobs.
Well, actually, back then, PG-13 was less harsh. That's why I'm not quite sure about that.
But that's in the early days of even the PG-13 rating too. So it'd be.
Oh, you used to be able to get away with boobs and the F word as long as it had nothing to do with sex.
Yeah.
And as long as nobody was having sex, you could show boobs. And then they got even, I don't know. When was the last time you seen a PG-13 movie with boobs, Jesse? Because I haven't seen one in years.
Because there's not as many tits in movies.
I was gonna say they got really stickler about that, and even the F word now, because I remember that big stupid deal with the King's Speech. It was like, I watched that. I'm like, there's no reason this movie should be rated R. Because even the F word in it, he says the F word a bunch of times, but the whole point of the movie is this
to get over his stutter. Yeah,
he has a stutter, and he every time he says fuck and shit like that, he doesn't stutter as much. So
was
like,
there's
a
Joffrey Rush movie.
Yeah,
yes,
he was in it.
Jeffrey Rush and the other guy.
I've been a fan of his since.
So yeah, like there's
Peter
one
Sellers
scene
story.
where he's just going off with the F word, but because of that one scene, it got rated R. There's no sex, no violence, nothing else in the movie to justify it being rated R other than that, and that's not even, to me, enough. It's bullshit. They need to refix the rating system, but yeah.
I think Emmanuel was saying that the
have
season
none,
2 of
actually.
Picard is going to be Klingon guys in love.
Oh my god.
Them Klingon boys.
Well, where are they gonna
Worf's
put all
on
their
each
dicks?
other.
I mean,
I can say Worf's got a band now. Is that what you're saying?
love.
He come up and he
Klingon
goes,
ever was Christopher Lloyd.
"It turns out I am a merry man.
He let his wife die.
This is my husband."
He's dealing with his son Alexander, who's become more of a masculine warrior than Worf.
Well,
Didn't they
keep in
already
mind,
do this
Jadzia
on
was a
Orville?
man at one point.
Didn't Orville cover this already?
Yes, yeah. Who was a man already, Mecca?
Remember, Jadzia was a man before. She was Curzon Dax before.
Yeah.
At least the Dax symbiote was in a male body. So.
Oh yeah, they had that really bizarre relationship where they were like kind of bros, but she was still hot. It was like, this is awkward.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
She was tugging down. What was her name? Susanna Thompson.
Nah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, the Borg Queen chick.
Google.
Oh, it's
Next
in my. I use the clip all the time, and I put some porn music to it.
I know you do that with the Batwoman thing.
Oh yeah, I put the same music on the Batwoman one, and I just grabbed the Borg one at this also because I get tired of looking at Ruby Rose making out with some chick.
But you know what? After all these Batwoman videos, I did research Ruby Rose, and one of the first things I found out was her making out with Christina Ricci, which I thought, this is a good piece of cinema.
Can I see that?
Yep. Oh, that's right. Tom loves Christina Ricci.
Oh, Mecca, I did find the clip of.
My sexual revolution came from Christina Ricci. Anyway, sorry, Rob.
It's cute.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I did find an clip on YouTube of. I found an isolated clip on YouTube of Thanos punching out Brie Larson. So I mean,
Oh, sweet. Send that to me.
Okay.
Hey, you guys are the movie buffs, so I'm going to put this out there because I think that the entirety of Endgame is one big plot hole. Because in Thor Ragnarok, it reveals that the power of Thor is Thor. It's not the fucking hammer. The hammer has the power of Thor. So in the beginning of Endgame, when he got pwned by Thanos because he didn't have a weapon, that's stupid. Because at the end of the movie, he one-shots Thanos just because he has a rock on a stick.
Well, they're all going after him at once too.
Yeah, but he
keeps going for the head.
The Wata blow.
And he keeps going for the head too.
But do you think that Thanos could have one-on-one without a weapon beat up Thor?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
We should have seen that though.
Because he had the. Go ahead.
Oh, the closest he got was he already had one stone and he was beating the crap out of the Hulk. But we never saw
that was
Thanos
the thing is
without the stone.
he may not have been able to beat Thor in the beginning of Infinity War. I think that's why he had him handcuffed up. Like they managed to subdue him. But by the time he's got the rest of the stones, there's no way Thor can handle him. But I love this I can't remember who did it, but there's this guy who does these videos where he watches the movies in slow motion and he catches all kinds of shit you don't normally catch. And he watched Endgame in slow motion and Infinity War, but Endgame especially, I was glad I watched that because there was a lot of shit I didn't catch, like that last fight between those guys. Here's the thing, the whole setup, and it makes more sense to me now, is the reason why they went after Thanos before he knew who they were was because he knew who they were in the first film and they didn't know jack shit about him, and that's how he kicked their ass. This time they know everything about him. He knows nothing about them at all. And like if you watch the fight in slow motion, they're all doing specific things for a reason, and the entire time Thor's going for his fucking head. That entire time, like every shot he's going after his head.
Now, in the MCU, would you consider Thor to be a god or just an interdimensional
He is
creature?
a god. But I guess, I mean, Celestials would probably be, I don't know, Rob, are you here? The Celestials are stronger than he is, aren't they? But I mean, but yeah, he would technically be like another alien, but
well, they're still kind of mortal to a degree, but not in the same way that we understand it.
Yeah, because he got stabbed.
They have an extremely long lifespan, but they can be killed. That's the thing. Like so technically, he's like one of the he's not one of the Eternals, but he's tied into one of the Eternals.
You know what's funny? I still have the Eternals #1 somewhere. I just bought it because it was a Kirby book and the art looks good.
Oh, this is freaking.
It's in good shape.
This is going to be Captain Planet and the Planeteers. I mean, every color of the rainbow is going to be represented.
You know, you sent me or you sent it to Mecca, but I just seen you got this shot of. Did we watch that on the show, or did I see that by myself, where somebody recut the entire fight scene between Captain Marvel and him and Thanos, and they actually managed to cut it perfectly to where all he does is grab her by the head and punch her. She gets no shots in whatsoever.
Oh yeah, you could do that. Yeah,
I could do that on YouTube
for that.
I have a big problem with Endgame as well, with that final fight scene. Now Thor comes down out of the clouds like a badass and makes this great entrance, and no immigrant song.
Well, they couldn't afford it. I mean,
they can't afford it.
It was a struggle for them to get it for Ragnarok.
I was going to say probably. I'm surprised Jack Black ever got it for School of Rock.
I'm surprised they were just like, "Hi, we're Disney. Here's a check."
Nope. They are super protective of their works. Like I think Jack Black spent Jack Black and Jack White, or sorry, Jack Black and not Jack White, but White's
Jack
the last
White
name.
White Stripes.
Yeah, it was Jack White White Stripes. But those two guys who did School of Rock, they spent a year trying to get that song.
Wow. And I remember either the Russos or Kevin Feige or somebody like that. Or no, not Kevin Feige.
Taika Waititi put it on his pitch video for Thor. He put it for Thor Ragnarok up with footage from Big Trouble in Little China, a couple other 80s films. And they loved the pitch video because it was different, and Marvel never takes pitch videos, but they decided to take a look at this one. And they said, kiss your ass, kiss the thoughts of any immigrant song, like Goodbye. And Taika's like, well, I think we could probably pull it off. And they did some test stuff with it, and then they showed it to the group, and they're like, yeah, maybe we'll do this. And eventually they got the rights, but it was a long battle to do so.
Yeah, I think it's one of the few times they've ever had a soundtrack.
They gotta be like, look, this is just so awesome, you have to pay for it.
Well, the immigrant song they used in a commercial for Destiny, for the video game Destiny. I mean, so they're not above selling.
No, I'm sure if you know the right person,
they pick what they want.
Yeah, like I'm saying, if you know the right person to talk to who can get you like the right members of the band, then you can get permission. Then I'm sure. Yeah, but yeah, Immigrant Song seems to be one of the few ones they do allow out enough. I've never heard any of their other songs. Like I remember it was a big deal when they got Puff Daddy with what's his face to do fucking Come With Me when they used
Jimmy Page. Yeah.
Jimmy Page, yeah, when they did that song together.
The Kashmir?
Kashmir, yeah.
Christopher, is a very odd song, but Jimmy Page could actually play that on an acoustic, and it sounds like every voice is heard. It's very weird to watch. He's really good.
Christopher Richard sent us Canadian $5, eh?
Thor in the comics is actually half Asgardian, half Elder God. His mother is the Earth Goddess.
Okay.
And actually,
And that's why he's tied to Midgard so much.
Holy cow, Teresa! I don't know if you meant to send that much.
Yeah, was that a typo?
Yeah, did you really mean to send $4.99? I mean,
If that's the case, let me know and we'll try and figure something out there. Because wow.
Well, anyway, that's a super sticker. Thank you very much.
Please let us know for sure if that was meant to be that much.
Yeah.
Because I'd hate
Very
to
honest over here at the MEAD.
Well, we know everybody's going through a tough time.
She meant it. Oh, wow.
Well, thank you very much then.
Holy cow, Teresa. Thank you so much.
We know
We
know everybody's going through a tough time. A lot of people
that's half a roll of toilet paper right there.
Yeah, that's like 80 rolls.
Oh, thank you, Teresa.
I did have to venture to Walmart recently, and the paper aisle is still picked clean.
Do you go to the Noggy one or do you go down to Haven?
I go down to the New Haven one, Fox and Boulevard.
Because the other day I found a 20 pack at the Walmart in Naugatuck. There wasn't a lot of them, but there was like one per customer, so nobody's like buying them all right away.
Oh, I found them at ShopRite, so I got a 12 pack at ShopRite. So I'm
you're fucking good.
Yeah,
so ridiculous. I don't go through toilet paper. Like I don't know what these people are doing with this stuff, but people need to adjust their diets or something.
They're just hoarding it. They're just hoarding it to be. When you have when you raise a nation of selfish, greedy people, this is what you get.
Mm-hmm. I do have way too much water.
We finally got to a point at my local grocery store where most of the shelves are getting empty. Like the dollar store, actually, finally they were low the last few times I went in, but they weren't empty. But they were empty this time, and they actually had toys and where they're supposed to be toilet paper.
Oh yeah, in the toilet paper aisle, they started putting those plastic tote bins.
Oh no, they just put toys here. Yeah, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. But and then the grocery store in town is like, holy cow, like they were completely empty. I was like, wow. All there was left was like this really premium expensive thing of toilet paper. Thank you so much, Teresa. You did not have to do that. I appreciate it so much. You guys have no idea because like we live off of super chats over here on this channel. This channel makes nothing. Everything's demonetized, so
yeah,
that's why it helps so much when you buy T-shirts and mugs and shit.
Well, yeah, then we got that too. Yeah, that helps. Trust me. Even though I haven't seen any money from it yet, I got to get a hold of those guys.
Natasha,
what company do you use?
Mixed Teas.
I use Teespring, and when people buy stuff, it goes right in my PayPal. I just have to pay out.
Natasha, we have TP in Amsterdam. Well, rub it in, why don't you?
Well, that's what TV's for, right?
Well, we have some. They had some. I didn't buy any because I already had some in the closet. But they had like they had a little bit. It wasn't a lot. They had some of the Walmart brand Ultra Strong, which is good. Probably, I don't know. I use the name brand usually, and then they had some like Angel Soft. So, they had enough for people who really need it. But.
Enough for people.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a lot. So I figured, well, I have some in the closet. I'm not going to be an asshole because
enough
people.
Yeah, I bought like a giant. I bought a $30 pack about 2 weeks before everybody went on lockdown, pretty much, because I'm like, oh, they're buying it in Japan. Let me buy a little now. Let me just buy a little extra just in case I can't find it in the next couple of weeks.
You're good to go.
Yeah, so I have some.
I have not checked like Costco or any of those places.
See, I was more concerned with, fine, toilet paper, big fucking whoop. What happens when the meat case is empty and isn't full in a couple of weeks? That's when people are going to freak.
That's when you start eating the toilet paper.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was reminded of. Like in high school, there was girls that had issues with their appearance, and they would eat toilet paper as an alternative food, which was stupid. But I mean, we might get crazy there.
Yeah, that's about the.
Oh, South Park. But like seriously, if you want to eat something to fill your stomach and you don't want that many calories, just eat a bunch of pickles. They have like 5 calories each.
They got a lot of salt though, don't they? Well, if you get dill pickles.
Your body needs salt. That's how your heart works.
Yeah, but not that much.
Piss it out. Or you'll just be salty like me.
Oh Lord, this is where we are as a nation. TP.
Dude, there's all these
TP.
rumors flying on Twitter about like some Harvard scientist that basically was working for China on this.
Industrial espionage goes back God knows how long.
Well, what did I say when this first started happening? I'm like, if you wanted a perfect opportunity to start cleaning off the shelves of things that hardly ever sell, this is a good way to do it. I mean, I'm not trying to insinuate anything, but it's like, that's like one of the few places we know are not doing that hard off, or a lot of the stores that are selling everything off their shelves.
So what do you think is going to be a realistic time frame for economic recovery?
They're hoping July, but I want to say realistically anywhere from August to December.
Because right now, your favorite mouse, it kind of fell in the ratings. They're only $93.65 if you all want to go buy up Disney and really have a good time.
Well, that was that video.
Price, yeah.
That was that video we did, and they were talking about it that technically Apple could kind of swoop in and do a corporate takeover if they wanted to.
Well, did you talk about CES selling off Simon and Schuster?
Well, yeah, we did. Yeah. That was like 2-3 weeks ago they did that.
Okay.
But yeah, that was right when this stuff first started going down.
Well, Picard was tanking their stock long before any of this, any of the current events.
Yeah, what was funny about that, remember, Mecca, was they announced that the week they announced that new Picard book or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys tell me dates
Publishing's been
that some of these shows came out and when you think that the fans reacted to them, I could tell you what happened in the stock that day.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I kind of was looking at that a little bit too, and that's how, and I would, use that for all the, because like Star Trek, Discovery, Picard, those shows definitely have a certain group of people who get on social media and they want to just argue. They just want to argue and they want to pull the wool over people's eyes and they want to get in and say, no, it's not bad. TOS and TNG were bad, so this is bad and it's okay because those were bad. And I'm like, no, they weren't bad. They just got better. They started off actually good. So the thing about that, I've been always using the stock stuff to kind of say, oh, if it's so good, how come the stock fell? If it's so good, then maybe you don't need to be out there defending it. And they really, really hate that. So,
well, check the last 10 Thursdays and Fridays that there have been to see if the stock was affected by Picard airing.
Pretty much every time I think it dropped from what I remember, pretty much. And that's the fun fact. But I think it went up just a little bit when they had the Riker episode, or it didn't drop.
I sent Tom a picture of the 5-year because it's suspicious to me. But what were those dates?
The 5-year.
Oh, the Thursdays?
Yeah.
Oh, like the 2nd, the 26th.
February?
No, this is March.
2nd of February.
I can do it backwards. I can't do it forwards. Let me check a calendar here.
Yeah,
if it was February, you're looking at 6, 13, 20, and 27.
So I can put that 1 month. Ooh.
I'd like to see last year's, because if you remember last spring with Discovery and the Red Angel and all that shit, back when I was getting like Chris Hunter, Jeffrey Hunter's son who played the original Captain Pike, was out there, trying to knock my teeth out and shit and all these things. And I think that really, really hurt them. And I think they're very, very pissed about that. So yeah. I think like February of 2019, that probably fell pretty much too. Because I was out in like full harpy mode dealing with their shit. Because I'm like, okay, first off, you're threatening me now. Fuck off. I will destroy you.
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't give a fuck about like the Star Trek actors, because seriously, fuck them.
Yeah, they were up and down in February 2019. Then in March, they took a nice little dip. But that's where it begins being suspicious, because it goes from $114, $111, $108. It shoots all the way up to $134, $140 territory. And I sent Tom a email of the 5-year just so you could see how drastic it is before the drop around February 19th with everybody else. But
that was when they were announcing all their fake series. That were like, oh, we got the Section 31 show and Picard's coming. And it was probably right around they did the first Picard trailer, too.
So it was a bunch of promises.
Yeah. I think it was around the first Picard trailer. Was
like
February last year, I want to say? March, February?
This month it dips on February 9th. It dips on March 9th, March 12th.
It's like, yeah, you don't have to be a stock analyst to see the pattern of this. I mean, people are not happy with these properties. There's a lot of people dipping. They're losing a lot of money. There's a lot of bad
Disney,
press.
Yeah,
it's like
you're looking at Disney. I thought you were looking at CBS. Right. Oh, with Disney though, last year if it spiked, then it was probably because of the announcement of. It was probably with the trailer of Rise of Skywalker and the D23 and the Mandalorian trailer.
My God, Disney has never been healthier. Don't you know? Ray is going to lead us to a new gold era.
Yeah, Ray and that man lady.
Jesus Christ, what happened to Rob?
She's perfect in every way, my God. Don't you know that?
Did you have a sex change?
Just ask my husband, Frank.
Why do you got to bring me into this shit?
You're my better half, Frank. Don't you know that?
Well, I keep telling you this, but you don't listen.
Till death do we part.
I know I've been trying to kill you for years.
Frank Marshall, everybody.
Co-wrote the song "I'd Miss You," but my aim's getting better.
That's right.
What's the Congo joke? That one's going over my head.
I directed Congo.
Well, you know what my favorite part about Congo was at the end of the movie where everything's collapsing into the river and all the boulders float because they're made of styrofoam.
Yeah.
They could have just jumped on the rocks and just went safely down the river.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be looking at that. You're supposed to be looking at the monkeys.
I was. They're pretty terrible.
Disney paid over $70 billion for Fox Star Wars, and it's a drip in the bucket. Well,
that was the thing. Is this? Yeah, this Fox merger that should have been done. It was badly timed. There was another thing up here I wanted to address. This Sister Harold says stocks go up, or stocks don't get affected by individual series. Stocks go up and down for many reasons.
That's true.
Right, but there's still things that'll affect, like, if a big movie drops, the stocks will go up for the week and all that kind of stuff.
Well, the unique thing now is that Disney Plus is Disney right now because there's no parks, there's no movies being made, blah, 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 blah. I mean, they got the merchandising, but we all saw the clearance.
Okay, here's the other one. Here's the thing. Entertainment stocks might do a little bit better during a pandemic, but not much because the theaters are closed.
Crazy shit? Netflix. You know why? Because they're going into Mexico right now. But Mexico demanded that 30% of the programming on their Netflix in Mexico has to be Mexican networks. So they're like,
they'll just put on
But it's causing a big friggin' issue with Netflix. So like, but it's just another thing like YouTube. I can't watch a video without having like a major news network recommended it to me or just start playing after it. And it's like I was watching a YouTuber, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to watch like the mainstream shit because the mainstream shit isn't interesting to me.
Yeah,
because look at the shit they're giving us. This is what Disney thinks we want in Star Wars.
You know what reminds me, Mecca? You remember when the prohibition ended and all those people needed jobs, so they made pot illegal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, well, cable isn't a thing anymore, so cram yourself into YouTube.
Yeah.
Captain Hare, $5. Breaking. Seneca Martin Green has joined the Orville as their version of Wesley Crusher. Also, Trevor Noah is the Wanderer. Q Rob's Nightmares. What's the Wanderer?
The Traveler, I think he meant.
Oh, the Traveler.
Noah. Isn't he that weirdo from Comedy Central?
Yep.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah or the Traveler?
Trevor Noah. Yeah, Trevor Noah's the new Daily Show asshole.
Well, I can see him wandering. He doesn't really look like he knows where he's going.
No, he doesn't.
No. I kept saying about Trevor Noah. I saw I saw the movie about a foreigner stumbling through America and trying to look charming and adorable while doing it. And that was called Borat, and I got tired of that after 90 minutes. Okay, I don't want to see it on a nightly basis.
There was a lot of homoerotic wrestling in that movie that was really gross. Him and that man.
Yeah,
what was up with that?
That was kind of disturbing. Lars Hansen, 50 Danish kroner. If the big movie theaters in the U.S. is gone after this virus thing, what is the future for the major movie studios then? I don't
Streaming.
know.
Yeah, but I mean,
another direct market avenue.
This would have to drag out for a long time for that to happen. I really don't see the theaters being in a big bunch of trouble yet.
No, you'll have your major chain ones, like you'll have your AMC's and all those. You'll still have and the Regal,
right?
AMC, Cinemark, Lowe's, they'll be fine, Yeah,
because they can get all these government handouts and things.
That's the thing.
Not just that, they'll also get like bank loans at low interest and all that stuff to keep afloat for a while.
Because they know they'll make it back. They're
gonna do all this "oh woe is me, poor us" crap because they're trying to get corporate handouts. Yes, but then they won't turn around and
the prices
they'll jack up their prices, won't pay any of the employees who are out of work, fire them, and then hire new people. Is what they'll do.
Hire new people cheaper. Yeah, that's what'll happen.
Yeah.
And to that I say, F movies. But hey, so we're gonna be lining up to see this though. This Avar Chris thing.
Who's lining up for this? I'm not.
Nobody.
It's going to be Brie Larson, so all of her little stalker fans, all 5 of them.
I don't doubt. Hold on.
And this is totally another fucking Mary Sue character who's the bestest ever. Did you guys read about this one?
Yeah, her name is Eva.
Avar. Avar.
You think that was a name for as a troll to the feminist? The best is Avar.
Yes. Yeah, Doomcock was talking about that the other night.
That's funny.
I was like, these motherfuckers are listening to me because she's the bestest ever.
Human female Janet. Well, they aren't humans, so fuck off, Wikipedia. During the time of the High Republic, she served on the Starlight Beacon, a space station on the frontier of the galaxy. Noble and selfless, Chris was an inspiration to many of her fellow Jedi. Here's her biography. In the time of the High Republic, Chris served as Master Jedi of the Jedi Order. She has ascended through the Order alongside Selen Geos. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Chris worked with on the occasion, and their assignments coincided. During her time as a Jedi, Chris worked within the frontier of the galaxy. Here, Rob, you should be reading this one. You can read better than me. I'll link it in chat. Plus, it's on my other monitor because I gotta have this.
You serious?
Yeah, basically, she's going to be a fucking Mary Sue.
They get criticized for creating a character that's unlikable in a Mary Sue. So what do? They create another character that's unlikable in a Mary Sue.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No idea what they're doing, do they?
No, they don't.
Yeah, but can she ride a dinosaur like a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure she's got her dick cut off, so she can.
Of course, she can ride a dinosaur. She's perfect in every way, just like my beautiful Rey.
Well, it's gonna be fucking Brie Larson.
The fourth is female. Don't you know that, Becca?
You do know it's going to be Brie Larson.
Oh yes,
you could be a Jedi.
You could be anything you want, honey. Don't you worry.
I just see people.
And then a lightsaber. I want to be Indiana Jones.
Oh, of course, dearie. You can be anything you want, anything your little heart desires.
She looks like me. Look how much she looks like me. She looks exactly like me, and I'm going to be the bestest Jedi ever. See? That's me. That's Brie. Brie Jedi.
What is wrong with that boy?
It's Brie Jedi. I am the Jedi. I am the bestest Jedi ever. My name is Chris.
No, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be mean, but does that boy got the retardation?
That is a woman. You have misgendered somebody. You toxic male.
What? My male? What?
You misgendered somebody, and that's reportable. You need a time out, you toxic old white dude.
Are those words?
Ugh, you're just toxic. Okay,
Yes, they are,
boomer.
Frank. They're
I happen to be a toxic old white dude, and I happen to be a lot of fucking fun. All right, maybe some of these broads ought to chill out.
Okay,
Yeah, no
boomer, you're
shit.
just a
You're
gross
going
old
to
white
meet
dude.
too, Mr. Crow's Nest. We're going to meet too, you.
Yeah, me too. Let's go get some Coke.
Yeah,
Some
can
hookers.
we up the ante a little bit? Make it in maybe a me 3, maybe a me 4. You got some friends?
You got enough money? We can make it a me 5, Jesse. Let's get the fuck out of
Me
here.
5 to Vegas.
To Vegas we go.
We need a hippie van
Ugh,
or a school bus.
it's awful. This
What?
High Republic's gonna be terrible.
Did you say hippies?
They're not people, they're hippies.
You want to hear something funny? I had just muted my thing and hidden my camera. I was talking to my son. He's watching X-Men the animated series, and Professor X puts a helmet on Gambit, and he's looking into his memories, and it's like, here's Rogue. Then it's like all of a sudden there's like Ghost Rider walking at him in a sewer, and then they just clip to the next guy, and they don't even mention that like he knows Ghost Rider.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's Spider-Man's hand in the X-Men, and I think there's also an episode where they show the Power Rangers are like in the background. Yeah, I think it's the episode where some stranger gets Juggernaut's powers, and he ends up crashing through a film set.
So yeah, the nerdy guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he crashes through a television set, and in the background are a bunch of Power Rangers.
That's awesome.
We got $2 from Captain Harry. Says Congo buggies.
All right. Congo buggies. It's the best kind of buggies. So okay, Avar Chris. Avar Chris, human female Jedi Master of the Jedi Order during the time of the Get High Republic. She served on the Starlight Beacon, a space station on the frontier of the galaxy. Noble and selfless, Chris was the inspiration to many of her fellow Jedi. Remember, like when Jedi used to have cool names, like Kit Fisto and Mace Windu and
Luke Skywalker.
Luke
Kid
Skywalker.
Fisto reminds me of like Caligula's superpower.
I know, right? That's the first thing I heard when I heard the name Kit Fisto. I'm like, that doesn't even sound safe for children.
Looking into that guy's eyes, like the problem with him is that he doesn't believe his own bullshit. He knows he's full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson?
That's why,
Hell yeah.
that's why he's so pretentious.
Mm-hmm. Biography. In the time of the Get High Republic, Chris served as the Jedi Master of the Jedi Order. She ascended through the Order alongside Stellan Gios, who Chris worked with on the occasion that their assignments coincided. During her time as a Jedi, Chris worked within the frontier of the galaxy. No, you don't work within the frontier. You work on the frontier, you morons. The frontier is what comes after what's known. The frontier is the border between the known and the unknown.
Frontier is the potential.
Exactly.
It was home on the range, not home in the range.
Yes. Which fascinated her younger Jedi, such as Keeb Trent. Chris was recorded in an interactive hologram that was stored within a Jedi holocron. In the holocron, oh, fuck off. Just fuck, I'm tired. Get this off my screen. Fuck off. Fuck off. Avar Chris.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
It's annoying though, these stupid Star Wars characters. Like, okay, fuck off with your bullshit if they're the bestest thing there. That's not interesting. Neither is the biggest fuck up in the galaxy being told how the sun shines out of their asshole because they're a person of color, and that's really all they're doing, and I'm fucking saying it. They're just kissing her ass because they got all this white guilt and shit. That's why everybody says, oh, Sonequa Martin Green's the prettiest thing ever. I don't fucking care. I don't care. She's not unattractive, but seriously, the sun doesn't shine out her asshole.
No, it shines on it.
Oh, she does that rectal tanning thing.
Yes.
It's
cleansing.
you know this is going to be a Brie Larson role. You know this is the one that they have in mind for her, and they had to set it up because in Hollywood, like Script Doctor, you can probably tell us a little bit of this. When they're doing these movies, they're usually signing up for them years and years in advance in talks, like in pre-production. We won't hear an announcement of this for like 2 years when they start filming, probably. But I think right now they're probably in talks with her, right?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. In most cases, especially if there's an idea that's being pitched around and there's not a whole lot of confidence to it, but it's still like a good idea, they'll ask for it to be done in another medium. So they'll say, let's make a comic book or a novel about it first. And if that tracks well, we'll go ahead with the film. And we've got these actors lined up for the roles. And everything's just pending basically fan reaction.
Exactly. So that's my thought. And you're going to have enough people like me saying, yes, please, I want to meme the fuck out of this and take any one of her stoned off her ass interviews and behind the scene drama bullshit and put it on my stream deck because it's hilarious. That's my entertainment. I don't give a fuck about Star Wars anymore because there's nothing interesting about it. The only thing that I have to find something entertaining. The only thing I'm really finding entertaining is what these idiots are saying behind the scenes, like Brie Larson or Natalie fucking Portman, you know?
When I get my lightsaber, I'm totally gonna cut off your head.
Lightsaber.
I don't like you. You're mean to me on the internet.
You're too rich to care what I say.
You're the mega troll face lady.
See, this is the thing. People always think like she actually gives a fuck about what people are saying.
I watch all your videos, and I don't understand why you hate it. I don't get it. What did I ever do to you?
Nothing. That's the thing. I don't even have any personal animosity.
I don't need to know what some funny old white chick thinks of me.
So don't watch my shit.
I
no, that's
put
the
my name
entertainment I'm
on your
getting.
videos when it's my name. I'm Lee Brie Larson, and you will bow down to my queendom thing. Fuck you. You can't be it if you don't see it.
Yeah, but who wants to be the next? Wouldn't you rather be the first?
Like a virgin? I'm not. I met Kit Fisto and well.
Oh god.
So did Jodie Foster.
On the pinball machine.
Yeah, just like Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be in that movie with all of the whip in my stuff.
It'll be Henrietta Jones the fourth.
On American Dad, Roger was trying to get that to happen to him, but he just ended up puking outside.
Yes, Brie, me and you are going to ruin Indiana Jones together. He's the last toxic man on our hit list.
I don't like toxic men. In fact, I don't like
with men.
I don't like any men except for Samuel L. Jackson.
Really? He used to be cool, then he turned puss.
Yes, he turned puss. We drove the toxicity out of him.
He was driving me around in my movie.
They must have given him the Ludovico technique.
And I put him in the Unicron store.
Yes, dear. Yes, go put him in the Unichrome store. Isn't that right?
I did already, and he is in the movie.
Do you think the whole Brie Larson thing is an act?
What? I'm an actress.
No, I mean like
I don't think
you know what I mean, like the whole.
Oh, she's not genuine about it. Yeah.
I think she's very much she's being told what to say, and I don't think she actually gives a fuck. I don't think she's that bright. First off, but she thinks she is.
Well, she was bright enough to be a puppet when they drove a dump truck full of money up to her house.
Yeah,
that I got no respect for.
Well,
$5 million is actually quite low for a Marvel actor, especially if they're being a lead character. But yeah, I know what you're getting at.
You know what? Like I have Verizon, right, for my cell phone. So they sent me a message one day that I could have Disney Plus for free for a year. So I said, fuck it. So they had Captain Marvel on it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give this a chance. So I sat down and watched about 10 minutes of it. And my God, it was downright difficult to sit through because like, her delivery for everything was just kind of like, I'm a snarky bitch. And it's just like, that's not what you're trying to convey in the scene. Like,
she had no charisma or charm, and she's capable of doing it. Like we've seen it in other performances prior to her performance in Room. But
I don't understand it, man.
Do you think somebody brought this
directing
up?
Really?
Do you think it's because she won an Oscar now everybody's afraid to give her direction?
That's entirely possible. A good director will make a film.
Yeah, and Marvel isn't really known for hiring like incredibly well vetted directors. They want, like, not since Disney took over, they want directors that will stick to the game plan, and do what they need. And they're definitely running Marvel Studios much like a television show. Like, they have a writer's room. They got, like, Kevin Feige's technically your showrunner, sort of like pulling all the shots. And you have a group of writers who are doing the research and pitching their takes on the properties upcoming. And then you have directors that are relatively unknown, but like have a couple credits under their belt, but they're still they don't have the clout or experience to dictate creative control over what's going on. So that's why the movies can stay on brand, have a very strong through line of familiarity to them all, and do well financially because they're very safe in their presentation.
Too safe.
Yes. I would say that, like, Infinity War is a great film, and Endgame was basically they didn't stick the landing. They broke their ankle doing that.
Well, dude,
and also it was a story that came in
any
too
way
soon.
without using time travel. That would have been great.
And there's lots of ways they could have done it without imploring time travel, but
it felt like such an 80s trope or 90s trope. You know what I mean? Like, it's like every cartoon ever.
Yeah, they're trying to play into some nostalgia. I understand why they did it, but the one thing that was kind of funny is I think the Russos were talking to like one of the editors of another Marvel film, and they pitched him Infinity War and Endgame. He's like, well, if you can pull that off, you did the impossible. And that's not a compliment to encourage you to do it. It just means that that's a really tough idea, and we saw the result. I mean, sure, it's financially successful, but when you're watching Endgame, things just don't add up. And the first part of it, from my opinion, as a writer, is that when you're dealing with time travel, you got to define the rules and you got to stick to them, like, without any means of flexibility. And they don't do that in Endgame. It's crazy.
If you don't do that, you create a paradox.
No, like, you don't just create a paradox. You just ruin the suspension of disbelief. I mean, you then have people who are like actually really involved with the plot, making questions about like, well, why don't they do this and why don't they do that? They're supposed to be the smartest characters, like, you know, in the series, and I'm coming up with better decisions than them. That's not right. Like, give me some restrictions or explain the concept that you're imploring a lot better. And they don't do that because, again, they just wanted to write off and go back, make it like a nostalgia film. Like, let's go back to all the high points of the MCU to bring in those feels, and then a couple of deaths, and give Steve Rogers a happy ending.
You know, this might be the best casting ever. Keely Chow says Brie Larson is Carol Baskin in a movie about Carol Baskin. Yeah, if anybody can play that bitch Carol Baskin, it's Brie Larson.
Oh, what a crazy lady! What a crazy lady. Not the craziest I've ever seen in my life, but definitely something new to the zeitgeist.
Fuck that bitch Carol Baskin.
No idea who that is.
Oh, she's
the Tiger Queen, and she killed her husband. You hear me? At least I think she did. Joe Exotic did nothing wrong.
No.
He's an odd cat.
Yeah, I'm still trying to like digest how he managed to give that guy $3,000, and
I believe Joe. I don't think it was for that. I think it was for something else, like he said in the fucking court case.
Yeah,
and they fucking set his ass up.
Because and the fact that they brought in all those other issues with him, like euthanizing a handful of tigers, and
no, I truly think that that fucking Jeff dude and that fucking gruff looking dude fucking set him up to get rid of him.
I haven't seen the show. I've just seen the trailers and the political ad.
And I've heard enough to know I will never watch the show now.
what I would say this is that
Mecca, this is becoming the great cultural phenomenon of the day. Is this fucking weirdo?
The best part about it, and I'm not saying you
watch
have to watch it, Mecca, because I know you won't. But the best
No.
part about it is, it's only like 7 episodes, so you don't have to like worry about going through 20 fucking shows and all that kind of crap.
it's short.
How long
Yeah,
are they? An hour?
They're not
about
even an hour.
45-ish.
And it's like one of those shows, like when you get going and like everything's left on a cliffhanger, even though they bury the lead in the beginning, but you're like, oh wow, but you're like, you get into the show and you realize why, because that's nothing compared to what got them there. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But I heard they might be doing another episode to follow up on a few things.
Yeah, I think once more information comes with regards to Joey's appeal and what's happening after that, they'll do a follow up.
And they opened, well, it's been open, but they asked for any new information on the case against Carol too. Well, not against her, but about her husband.
The investigation, because her missing ex-husband is still an open case.
Still missing.
So he's either somewhere living off his undisclosed assets, or he's gone.
There is an older documentary on YouTube too about Joe Exotic. So if you know, he's the reason to watch it. Like, he's just a character in and of himself. He's like a gay Hulk Hogan.
With magic powers.
Exactly. I mean, he's just, you can't take your eyes off him after a while, because everything he says and everything he does, you know, is going to be a fucking train wreck eventually. You're just waiting for it to happen. And he's the most entertaining human being I've come across in years.
Yeah, he went through 4 husbands in 20 years?
5, I think it was.
Well, tigers can pass it on to zoo workers now, so maybe they'll all get it and die. I just linked you a tweet here.
Yeah, but that other guy, that Bogdaban, or whatever the heck his name, Gavin. I think his real name was Gavin. He just changed it because his name was Gavin. But like the guy, Dr. Atrell, who's got his own cult and farm or something like that, with all the cubs and all the women that he
Alex Winter
wives. Yeah.
This is funny. It's true, probably, but yeah. Alex Winter posted this from Natasha Daly. A tiger at the Bronx Zoo tested positive for COVID. 6 other tigers and lions at the zoo are now showing symptoms believed to be infected by an
asymptomatic.
Yeah. That all doing well, to my knowledge, is the first time an animal to test positive. That was one thing I was curious about, if animals could get this. You know, because I've seen an awful lot of animal deaths lately too.
What do you say? Only the rich and tigers get tested.
Yeah,
Alex Winter. I gotta shout out Alex Winter. I mean, I rag on Hollywood and celebrities so much, but I don't take time to thank the guys who are actually the good guys out there. Yesterday, he tweeted out and he opened up his DMs for people who needed groceries.
Wow.
Yeah, Alex Winter's out there buying people groceries. Yeah,
so amazing.
Shout out to Alex Winter. You're a real stand-up dude.
Yeah, for real. That's a big.
Not that he's listening, but
no, I know he's not listening, but you know, just
he might be. You guys are like one.
We love what he's doing and we respect him. So yeah, this is the only time I recommend ever like mass tweeting a celebrity.
Yeah.
Just to thank him. He doesn't have to do that. He probably doesn't have. He's not rolling in it. He's just.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, he's not.
That's why that's such a risky move. Because it's like a lot of people need help out there.
I know. I guess he figures he's not as famous as Keanu, maybe, but you know, I would just feel bad about everybody I couldn't help. What if there's like 500 people show up and you can only buy groceries for like 5 people? You know, that was
his credit's good, I'm sure.
2 years ago, we used to be very poor, and my father had cancer, and everything was falling apart around here. And I even reached out to the Bill Gates Foundation, and apparently they only give money to corporations. So the Bill Gates Foundation is completely fake.
Mm-hmm.
Just start a corporation and just ask for money.
Yeah,
$100 down at your local municipality.
See, that's my problem now with all these celebrities. Not necessarily Alex Winter, but all these like Jeff Bezos who's donating $100 million. The Robert Kraft is. loaded up the team plane to fly masks back from China. Is that
that's a good idea?
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. But at the same time, we can't depend on Robert Kraft to do it all the time. We have to have some sort of governmental response at the ready. But my whole thing is like, are they doing it because it's the right thing to do, or that at some point when we
tax shelter?
Yeah, or if we elect someone like Bernie Sanders, that everyone will turn around and say, well, we can't tax Jeff Bezos. He donated all this money. Are they just?
But has he never paid taxes?
Didn't take a paycheck.
Yeah,
no. Iger.
Amazon pays no taxes.
Oh yeah.
No federal taxes.
Yeah, it's because their headquarters is wherever it's set up. This is funny. William Shatner retweeted this. My daughter's boyfriend's sporting these today. Tell your daughter to find another boyfriend. He's not for her. I feel it in the force. He means just because it's Star Wars, but Last Jedi.
Shatner's awesome. You know who's really funny is Chuck Woolery.
Yeah, Chuck Woolery's funny.
Yeah, he's just like an old man. He don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, the other day on one of the random shows I was doing, I don't even remember what it was about, but I have a tendency, like we made a little tradition to invite celebrities on to see if we could get anybody on. And Brian the Observer, he found that Ashton Kutcher from that 70s show, he just puts his phone number on there. So I was like, send it to me in the private chat. So he did. So I called it on the speakerphone, and his voicemail picks up. He's like, nobody leaves voicemails anymore. Send me a text. So I invited him through there, but he didn't come. I was like, you're a crazy asshole for putting your fucking phone number on the internet.
Rita Wilson did.
Did she?
I can't imagine all the dick pics she got.
That's why Elvira can't have open DMs. It's a shame.
Well, that's just for ladies around here. I'm sure Mecca's got her fair share, and I've heard plenty of the other women in the fandom say the same thing. They get tons of them.
Mecca, do you have open DMs?
Not anymore, no.
Not anymore, she doesn't.
Because of shit like that?
Yeah, it's because of death threats. Yeah, it's because you'll get like 50 people spamming you all at once constantly with just insults. And it was like the asshole yesterday in my chat where he's like just going on and on that, oh, Mecca's a whatever, this or that, and they just spam it. Right. So you can't like get away from it because, and it's just kind of like they do it to death of 1,000 paper cuts you sort of thing. That's what
Matt G sent us a $1.49 super sticker. Thank you so much. I'm imagining it's probably a unicorn.
Yep.
See, when shit like that happens on my channel and I get told to just say, hey, you know how this works? Bam, I hold down your name. Now you're never in here again. Bye.
Oh, yeah, I do that. But I also go one step further and ban and get their whole channel kicked off of YouTube by reporting them as spam and as harassment, cyberbullying. You can only do so much of that shit. It's like, sorry. Because they do review that. They don't just like lock your channel up if you just blindly report something like that. But
see, I am a troll, but there's a fine line between being a troll and just being a fucking asshole.
Exactly.
I talk about fucking asshole. I had this guy on. I was playing Grand Theft Auto online. This one guy kept griefing. One guy for like the whole 45-minute session just kept trying to grief me. I'm like, and I got him a couple times, but it's like I finally just said, dude, you're an asshole.
Was he on the bike, or was he just auto aiming you with a sniper rifle?
He was on the
profile.
He was on the oppressor. The oppressor.
The thing with that game is if you have a modded profile, you have auto lock on all of your shots. So if you're on the oppressor, that's why they can bop you like that. The same thing on the ground with a sniper rifle. They lock onto you with a sniper rifle from farther away than you can see them.
Yeah, this is on PS4. There's probably modded PS4 too.
Yeah, there was modded there was recovery menu guys and modders on PS3, but on PS4, that's why they had to end the PC to console transfer system, because they were flooded with modded profiles. There's even companies out there that make them, and they have support lines that you could call if something's wrong with your cheat profile. Some YouTube channels that do GTA shit, they're sponsored by these people. It's like TOS, dude. Terms of service. No,
Yeah.
nothing.
But what burns me is you get the well, why can't I play the game my way, man? I paid good money for this. Like, yeah, well, so did I. What, your money's better than mine? Well, why don't you just cheat too? I'm like, well, that defeats the whole purpose then, doesn't it?
Which system are you on?
I'm on the PS4.
Oh, okay. Well, fucking friend me. I'm the Scarecrow 65.
Okay, I will. I'm
a 600 and something.
I got to change my name on the PS4 to Robot Shlomo just to have it the same name across everything.
Yeah, big thick Dick Johnson just doesn't work.
My rap name is Papa Deuce. My first album is In the Corner.
Put your PlayStation name in the private chat so I can add it later. Okay? So, hey, Kesha Queen, how's it going? But yeah, I mean, it's Mecca. You still have Red Dead Redemption, right?
Yeah.
What they do is they have a what's called a parlay system. If you get hit by a griefer, you can parlay them, which locks them out from attacking you for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's called ghosting yourself to them.
See, I don't play online because I don't like playing online with people.
Yeah, I don't
Not like competitive. So no.
See,
I should change it to
thing.
this
If all else fails, you could always go back to story mode, then open up invite only lobby.
Yeah.
But you can't do everything in there. Some
Yeah, but
things
then you have to pay to.
But I can't. But yeah, I can't sell like stuff. You know, you have to sell in a public lobby. If you're selling something, yeah, you can't. You got to do it in a public lobby. That's the side of that. I'm like, shit. You know?
Yeah, I'd have to. I don't want to pay for PlayStation Online. That's kind of expensive.
Rob, is your phone number still the same since you got a smartphone?
Oh yeah. I changed it. I just brought the phone number over.
Oh, okay.
So it's fine. Yeah.
Because I never used to call you because I knew that like
he made me text him or whatever just so he could save my number in his new phone.
Well, that's the way you do it. You save, and then you save the contact.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing your number in my contacts. What the fuck did I do with it?
I don't know. What did you do with it?
I don't know. Your name is fucking Rob. It shouldn't be that hard to find.
You guys are having too much phone sex.
I could always get off of Tom later.
Hey,
phrasing! Brick my smartphone yet? No, I have not. No, I have not. My brother Dave still doesn't have a smartphone. Yeah. He's just like, what am I gonna do? Look up what's J Lo's dog's name. I'm like, what is with you and Jennifer Lopez? I said, that's 1999, dude. Come on.
Because he's racist, and that's the only person he can think of that's newer. I'm kidding. Your brother's probably not that racist. Just a little.
No, he's just racist enough. Farpoint Station. Do you guys ever poop so much it's out of the H2O?
Hey, Farpoint Station. You ain't been around in a while. Farpoint Station always has some joke about poop, and it's been a long time. How you been? Glad to see you. It's been a long time since seeing you on one of the streams. Matt G.
Better film, First Contact or X-Men 2? Dune Buggies.
X-Men 2, just because it had Wolverine tearing up the mercenaries.
Oh yeah, X-Men 2 by far.
Yep.
And I liked it when Iceman chilled his drink.
I mean, I love the Generation movies when they came out, but the more I become familiar with the series, I see a lot of the gripes that people have with those movies.
Yes. Understood?
So,
I must say, young man, you have a very sexy voice.
Excellent.
If you say sexy things, I might masturbate to it.
So which one of you is Batman when you do
How
those?
dare you talk to me that way, you third-rate tot?
Oh, I'm Batman. Well, I'm this Batman. But Rob is Kevin Conroy Batman.
That's awesome. How many profile pictures do you guys have on tap at all times? Because you switch them constantly.
10.
I only have,
Or 4.
I only have
I'll
a
get
couple
this
of them
one.
so far.
I lost
man.
count. Like, I don't know. But did you know that
I'm up there too.
I love your face? You got beautiful
You have my
face.
face, and I love it too.
Looks like she's that hippie chick at the party who's done way too much acid.
Make me want to squee. I'm gonna squee.
They're not people, they're hippies.
You just
I love that you guys have the
we match unicorns and lightsabers.
Yeah, cars and lightsabers. You know what would be awesome? Other me is if we had a lightsaber, but the handle was a unicorn horn.
I thought you were going to say something else.
And when you
lightsaber,
and when you turn it on and it's rainbow colored, it shoots out sparkles.
Is this a double-ended lightsaber?
Yes.
And confetti. Oh yeah, it's double-ended, baby.
Is that Joker Trump? What is that?
That was Brie with the Indiana Jones dirt all over her face from when she was with Bear
Really?
Grylls.
Really put that back on.
I need to know what goes on in your
Why
bedroom.
does Brie Larson look like Donald Trump? She
I
must
don't know.
love
Let me
that.
find it. Let me find it. Which one? The dirty one?
Yeah, the dirty one.
Smiling stupid.
She looks like a Frankenstein Donald Trump. Bizarre. That is not a good picture. Put your face back on. Cleanse
Like
the
she got a
palate.
facial from the wrong end.
That's not good.
This is high dirt, right?
I learned this on my trip to Germany.
It's a German Scheiße video.
Mm. You ever see a Euro Trip back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like Uber sex or something, and then the chick walks away once he's tied up, and all these dudes come in, and he's like, no, 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 no.
Oh, and he can't read the safe word.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucy Lawless was in that scene, right?
That was fun.
I think so. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah, Matt Damon's in that movie too, I think. Also,
Yeah, as a cameo. Yeah, because of the whole
the music.
Scotty
right?
doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know, right?
Yeah.
Because she's
When I
sleeping
saw
with
that, I
Matt
was like,
Damon.
how'd they get him to do that?
Probably friends with friend.
No, they are. Yeah, those writers are friends with a lot of the big celebrities because they usually end up writing little bit jokes from various films all over the place. So
That and like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have really great sense of humors from what I've heard. So
Yeah, that's why I really liked the Jane Silent Bob reboot, because he literally says in the movie, I've guilted everyone to all of my friends to being in this movie.
oh, mother of Kiefer Sutherland, Shirley Douglas passed away of the disease or the virus.
Oh.
That comes from CBC.
I was not related.
What was confirmed from the
pneumonia
virus?
not
Really?
related to. It says.
Well, was it a complication of?
I don't think so.
Pneumonia's a bitch, though.
Yeah, I was gonna
Really?
say
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people have been. It's not the actual thing. It's something else.
I had pneumonia this year and being
Yeah, you did.
I just turned 37 from being 36 when I had it in December, but December into January. But it knocks you on your ass. It ain't no joke. Like there's a lot of fluid there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like drowning.
We got a $2 super chat from our good friend Adam Wolford.
Adam Wolford, $2. Only thing Star Trek Picard needed was dune buggies.
That's all you really need in life.
Well, they are so fun.
They get you where you need to go.
And they're fast
Picard.
and they're dangerous because they might flip over.
Picard, what is best in life?
Doing buggies and boobies.
You ever ride on a tractor? That's fun as hell.
Oh, tractors are fun too, but they're not as fast.
No, they're not. Definitely not. It's like
But you can
riding
run
a-
over big shit.
Yeah. Tractor flipped again.
Flip it over with the dune buggy.
Mm. You ever see the ramp cars?
Yes.
Those are awesome. They got that in GTA.
Yeah.
VW was actually made a electric dune buggy concept.
That just sounds wrong.
Yeah, I know, but it's
I've driven those golf carts that are like just battery, and they're weird, man. They don't make any noise. You don't have any resistance in the pedal. It's just, it doesn't feel American.
Mm.
It feels like you're hitting the R2 button without dual shock. Yes, teabag that like button.
I was thinking I should start a morning podcast and call it Midnight in the Mornings or something like that.
Yeah,
You're like midnight Euro because it'd be midnight in the European countries.
True. Yeah, it's like sometimes late at night I won't do a stream because I figure nobody's up. Then I realize, wait, half these people live in like God only knows where, or all over the damn planet.
That you kind of forget that about the internet. Is that it is the World Wide Web. I mean, you only tend to think of people in your own area, or in the U.S. But no, we're all over the joint here.
Mm-hmm. For real.
Yeah, but I know the U.S. is such a big deal that Andre will not release a video at certain points, and like when Europe is in bed too either.
Now, where's Andre from again?
Norway.
Right on. Yeah, because like Stig lives over there, but he lives on an island or something.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
It's like one of the guys in the chat, Milton, he's from New Zealand. Cthulhu's from Britain. There's a lot of people from Britain.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of people. Mecca, didn't somebody come up to you from Australia at Star Trek Las Vegas?
I don't know if it was Australia. Uruguay. Let's see. Colombia for sure. UK for sure. I don't know about Australia though.
Excuse me, I want to make a random. Oh, I just love your videos. I love your channel. Can I take a pic? Can we have a snap? Can we take the pictures? Oh,
Yeah, we were taking a lot of pictures with people. That was fun.
What's funny is like it goes beyond languages too. It's like most people coming into these chats because they speak English, but like you guys know, Big Steve, a lot of his audience is actually from Asia.
Really?
They just get a kick out of him for some reason.
There's a lot to like about Steve's channel.
He's very charismatic. I guess they're not used to free speech over there, so they get a couple of laughs out of how much he doesn't care.
Yeah, Stig is an amusing guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Stig's funny as hell. He's always quick with a joke.
Lethal Lightning's funny too, but
I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Australia.
Yeah, he's a funny bastard. He's always trying to get it in.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Hey, phrasing! Hey, phrasing!
What else we got to talk about here?
I don't know. Happy First Contact Day? I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I ask a stupid YouTube question?
Absolutely.
When you guys play the GIFs and stuff or whatever, the little audio clips or video clips, how do you automatically mute everyone's microphone while that plays?
It does it on its own.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, and if it's one that doesn't have any audio, like this one here with the...
Oh, then it doesn't?
Yeah, then it doesn't.
Oh, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah. But otherwise, we got like the...
You serious?
You got to learn these things from people who actually know what they're doing on here, you know?
Yeah.
I mean? That's why I ask questions.
Ryan Johnson's looking at is talking, and Mark Hamill was like, "I can't believe this motherfucker killed off the motherfucker Skywalker." Look at this here.
He looks like he's having like an anxiety attack almost. Like he just wants to fucking strangle him. Look, he's fucking mad. He's mad. He's not fucking upset. He's fucking pissed.
You killed motherfucking Luke Skywalker.
Look, he looks
more like he's gonna throw up.
Look at him.
This
he wants to choke
motherfucker right
that little
here.
bastard out.
He's channeling his inner Jokers. Like, what would I do with him if I was the Joker right now?
A lot of knives.
Well, you saw the clip where he had to pretend he was playing Jake Skywalker.
Yeah.
the way it looks at her that's the worst part.
I wonder if he ever blew up on set and he was like, "This isn't good," and they were just like, you know.
Well, didn't they catch
quiet.
it in
That's
that
like
documentary? He starts crying in one part or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
he
here
was
you go.
crying, and then Ryan just kind of left him alone.
That's not the crying part, but that's where he's like, I had to pretend it was Jake Skywalker.
SJW.
Yeah, when your actor who's played the character in 3 movies doesn't recognize the character he's playing in this 4th like big iteration of it, that's a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. Not
yeah.
a good sign.
Jedi's don't give up. I mean, even if he had a problem, he would maybe take a year to try and regroup. But if he made a mistake, he would try and right that wrong. So right there, we had a fundamental difference. But it's not my story anymore. It's somebody else's story. And Ryan needed me to be a certain way to make the ending effective.
Poor bastard.
I think there was more to it. I accidentally cut it off too soon, but
But he's right. He's exactly right. He would have maybe even taken a year off and then come back to it, because the one fundamental thing about the character of Luke that made him endearing to people is that he didn't know what give up means.
oh, okay, I can see where I cut it out.
Yeah,
The guy-
exactly, Annabelle. But he shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have done it. Should, because he's big enough where he could have walked off and caused a real fucking stink.
The guy who redeemed his father, the hero of the galaxy, the savior, the savior of the rebellion, and of friend and Jedi master. He's a rank coward now.
Yep.
That's the crux of my problem. Luke would never say that. I'm sorry. Well, in this version, see, I'm talking about the George Lucas Star Wars. This is the next generation of Star Wars. So I almost had to think of Luke as another character. Maybe he's Jake Skywalker. He's not my.
Ooh.
I had to do what Ryan wanted me to do because it serves the story well. But listen, I still haven't accepted it completely, but it's only a movie. I hope people like it. I hope they don't get upset. And I came to really believe that Ryan was the exact man that they needed for this job.
More like the man who's going to ruin it. Adam
It's
Wolford.
amazing. I mean, how does
At least you let everyone know that
$2
they don't count. These movies don't count. They're not part of the story.
what would you make Star Trek Picard better? Congo. Would Congo make Star Trek Picard better?
Congo makes everything better.
I actually haven't seen Picard. I can't.
You're not missing anything.
I won't watch that Mandalorian because you're not gonna like shovel a bunch of crap and then try to win my fandom with nostalgia. But like Picard, you would expect a show like that to be good because Patrick Stewart's pretty cool, but he's not in control. Just like look what they just did to Mark Hamill. I mean, these guys are just.
Oh, Patrick Stewart was a little bit more in control for Picard.
All right, kids, this is what you do.
He's a knight.
If you feel the need to watch The Last Jedi or that Pickard show, here's what you do. You kick yourself in the ass, slap yourself in the face, poke yourself in the eyes like one of the Three Stooges, and then you hop on the internet, go on to Amazon Prime and buy yourself a Blu-ray of Congo. Thank you.
Three Stooges still holds up. I'm sorry.
Yes, they do, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those vaudeville guys, man. If you weren't talented, you weren't famous.
They
in the
got
first
fucking
place.
screwed over so badly.
Did they?
Oh, yeah. Columbia Pictures really... There's a lot of actually hands in the Three Stooges.
There's a movie that is out there. Actually, it was on... you might even be able to find it on YouTube.
Is that the one directed by Mel Gibson?
I think so.
With Michael Chiklis as Curly?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it goes through the whole business, and it basically starts out when Mo figures out they're being screwed out of residuals by Columbia. Yeah,
They go into like the studio and like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, we're re-editing your shorts for television. Oh, great. How much are we gonna make from this?
Nothing.
What do you mean? Yeah, how much? What do you mean? You're not nothing. Yeah. Oh man.
See, I want to say that to Mo because I would assume he would hit me with something.
No.
No, they were little cowardly men. They only hit each other. But
Mo was
Spread out. Yeah,
Ray
Mo was
Vine
a
was
lifeguard.
hysterical.
Mo was a lifeguard at Coney Island, though. I mean, that was back in when he was young.
he was a lifeguard.
Yeah, he was a lifeguard at Coney Island. Yeah. There was that story. Was that true story about Curly died in the back of the limousine coming home from the track?
Probably. Actually, I'm not sure. I thought he died. Well, he had a couple strokes or something like that.
It's so sad to hear
I
about.
thought it was a
Curly
heart
dying.
attack. Yeah.
When I think of Curly, I think of Pop Goes the Weasel and him hitting.
Well, he had a stroke, and that's why he couldn't be in the shows anymore. He has
And they
one
got,
cameo way late, just before he died. He's like you can't even recognize him unless you know it's him.
Well, yeah, he doesn't play Curly. He's dressed up as another character, right?
Yeah. It's just he's just a background character, and it's really kind of sad because he's in rough shape. But he had like a.
Did it go like? Because I started with Shemp, and then Curly came in. Did Shemp come back for a couple, and then they?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what happened is after Curly's first stroke, he like his left side or whatever was all fucked up, so he couldn't do anything anymore. And so they brought back Shemp, and I don't think he had so much of a problem with that until they decided to start redoing a lot of the old ones with Shemp in his place. From what I recall, hearing that really bothered him a lot. And yeah, he was in like one of the shorts, like nearly like just days before he died or whatever.
Says let's see, final months. In December 51, North Hollywood Hospital and Sanitarium supervisor advised the Howard family that he was becoming a problem to the nursing staff at the facility because of his mental deterioration. They admitted they could no longer care for him and suggested he be placed in a mental hospital. Mo refused and relocated him to the Baldy View Sanitarium in San Gabriel, California.
Maybe it was a little while after that, but yeah.
On January 7th, 1952, Mo was contacted on the Columbia set while filming. He cooked his goose to help move Curly for what would be the last time. 11 days later, on January 18th, 1952, Curly Howard died. He lived the shortest life of the Stooges, dying at the age of 48. He was given a Jewish funeral, laid to rest at the Western Jewish Institute section of the Home of Peace Cemetery in East Los Angeles. His older brothers, Benjamin and Shemp, and his parents, Jenny and Solomon, were all interred there as well. He had a stroke in 1946.
Yeah, that's the last time he was able to. Because I think he had a stroke. Right, that might have been one of the things. I don't know that. I think he had a stroke on the set of one of the shorts they were filming.
Yeah, during a filming on May 6, 1946, he suffered a severe stroke while sitting in director Jules White's chair, waiting to film the last scene of the day. When called by, an assistant director to take the stage, he did not answer. Mo went looking for his brother. He found him with his head dropped to his chest. Mo later recalled that his mouth was distorted and he was unable to speak, only cry. Mo immediately alerted White to this, leading to the latter to rework the scene quickly, dividing the action between Mo and Larry while Curly was rushed to the hospital, where Mo joined him after filming. Howard spent several weeks at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills before returning for further recuperation. In 1946, Shemp had been recruited substitute for arresting Curly during live performances in New Orleans. After Curly's stroke, Shemp agreed to replace him in the Columbia shorts, but only until his younger brother was well enough to rejoin the act. An extant copy of the Stooges' 1947 Columbia Pictures contract was signed by all four Stooges and stipulated that Shemp's joining in place instead of Jerry Howard would only be temporary until Curly recovered sufficiently to return to work full-time. Howard partially recovered with his hair regrown, made a brief cameo appearance as a train passenger barking in his sleep in the third film after brother Shemp's return Hold That Line in 1947.
Yep.
It was the only film.
And he filmed
Larry
a bit for
Fine.
Malice in the Palace, but it was not in the movie.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being Mo and you find your brother having a stroke? Now you have to finish the scene before you could go to the hospital. That must have been a terrible, terrible day. Horrific.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
But to think that he was able to pull it off, I mean, it just shows the level of professionalism amongst the Three Stooges.
Mm-hmm.
I always think that Shemp got a bad rap because he, like, if you watch his physical comedy, he really gave it his all. He grabbed himself by the back of the head and gave himself a snapmare. Like, what is this weirdo?
There he is. Here's the scene.
That virus is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or shame. And it absolutely will not stop until we stay at home. Kyle Reese, I'm out.
Wow.
Michael Biehn, you gotta.
I don't see him anywhere. Maybe he's disguised. Psst. I'll bet that's him. Take it off.
Yep, there he is. That's Curly.
What is that, a cocker spaniel? No, I think it's just a spaniel. That's not him.
I love the Three Stooges. I got all the DVDs.
It's
Yeah,
funny
I have their video. They had a board game years ago, a Three Stooges board game, where you had to like put in the videotape and flip up cards of their sketches and stuff. One of the
there's the Three
catchphrases was "Step on your toes, you'll heels." It was great.
There's
Seeing
the Three
board
Stooges.
games. This was just announced, and I'm like, oh my god, I need this. Need it.
Godzilla-opoly.
Oh my god, I need this. I want this so bad.
Can you get a view of what the squares are called? Because that's my favorite part of Monopoly.
Yeah.
Seeing what they dig up.
There was a Three Stooges NES game, I remember.
Really? That I don't remember.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
This is so cool. I need this.
Yeah, I've got it on my NES because I put a bunch of games on it.
Then there's the bitch of trying to get somebody to actually play a full game of Monopoly with you.
No, I have it on Switch, and I think I have it on Steam also. You can get online matches very rarely, but yeah.
Yeah,
One of the whole one.
You run into some ruthless motherfuckers if you try and play online, though.
Ruthless Monopoly.
People. We've all been playing Monopoly wrong for how long now?
What, with the free parking money?
Yeah, not only that, I mean, you don't have to buy a property on the first turn. You don't, and if you pass on buying a property on the first turn, that property can go for auction. You bid on it. But there's a lot of rules to make sure to make the game speed it up.
Yeah, there is. If you play it on the video game version, it's generally the original rules, and Rob's right.
Yeah. You auction the things off if you don't buy them.
We've all been playing Monopoly wrong over the years. But everybody thinks they know how to play, so nobody's actually read the rules in God knows how long. That's the thing.
Yeah. So why would you?
Well, to actually play the game right.
True that. It's like one of my favorite games is the original Mousetrap from back in the day, because with that game, the whole point of it was that you could do everything right to the point where you get to set off the mousetrap. But if you didn't set up the mousetrap properly, you weren't going to capture the mice. But now they changed it because everything's a choking hazard. Same thing with life. You can't buy original life anymore. It's stupid.
I have Original Life, but it's like an old game of it.
Well, we'll hold on to it because you're not getting one like that again. It's going to be one that's half the size of that board with like half the stuff.
It's all different stuff. It's got like life tokens and new rules and new stuff. Mm-hmm.
What were you saying, Script Doctor?
Well enough for one.
Oh, I've got like the original Battleship the game.
Battleship hasn't changed too damn much. Yeah.
I don't think they have it with the pegs though anymore. Is what like Jesse was talking about. They think they changed that too. But mine does. Mine still has all the pegs.
Yeah. You cheat. Yeah. Did everybody used to cheat a Battleship? I mean,
not really. How could you?
No.
Well,
yeah, you really couldn't. But...
unless you left a room or something, you could look at their ship.
One of my best friends in grade school used to play with his brother, and his brother would make him sit in front of the TV so he could see the reflection off the screen to get his board.
You put all the ships together in one clump in the center, then you have that little one off in the corner, and then you would have to. And the other thing too, the other cheating, you'd stack the ships one on top of each other.
Oh, that's something brothers do to each other. That's why. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why. Because it's stupid shit you don't even get away with.
My brothers used to cheat all the time at Stratego. They would try to force me. They try to force me into making moves. Like, come on, you gonna go? You gonna go? You gonna go? You gonna go? Oh, can't believe. Oh, I can't believe you're not. You take. So they try to hurry you, and they would force you, and you would make a lot of mistakes. And they would just whoop up on you. I was like, you motherfucker. And like one time I almost won and they cheated. They moved the flag. I'm like, you can't move the flag. Says who? Says the rules right here. That's you can't. So you don't like it.
Oh, those are suggestions.
Like, oh. Yeah. Stratego's an entirely underrated game.
They got Garbage Pail Kids Monopoly coming too.
Do they? Cool.
Yeah.
I hope they're the classic versions. I hate the newer ones. I don't know if you've seen any of the newer ones.
I think I still have Simpsons Monopoly.
I had Star Wars Monopoly, and what was the other one?
Star Trek one.
I still have that.
Did you guys
ever
have
by the Parker Brothers back in the day?
Well,
the new ones. Well, it's got some classics on there. They're like series one, some of them.
Oh no, it looks like the classics. Yeah, because the new Garbage Pail Kids don't even look like the old Cabbage Patch Kids anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look, all series like one and. Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of these. Series like 1 through 3 or 4, looks like.
Funny thing is in the movie, like most of the ones in the movie from like series 2 or 3.
Yeah. Like Double Heather.
Alligator, I think, is one of the only ones in the first series.
Nasty Nick, I think, was the first in the first.
He might have been, yeah.
Because I remember he's 1A. Thin Lynn might have been. Oh shit, Dead Ted down there. Here, hide this.
No, I was talking about the movie.
Oh yeah. I know Adam Bomb is series 1. New Wave Dave. Fuck.
But yeah, there's Nick right there, right above your thing. And
do you guys just have like awesome eyesight or something?
Is that Alligator next to Nick there, or who is that? No, that's I can see the head now.
No, this one's Fry and Ryan. That's the Godzilla one, and Alligator's over here by Buggy Betty.
Yeah, I see them now. Yep, they're so small on my screen here.
Yeah, they are pretty small. See, can I zoom in on it?
That's probably the best you can do.
All right,
I can make this a little bit bigger, but not much bigger.
And now I want to start collecting Monopoly again. I want to go to Dave and Buster's and win Monopoly stuff, and I'm like going stir crazy, and it sucks.
I bought stock in Dave and Buster's. I thought that was a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. It looks like it's the classic ones, classic cannabis. Definitely the classic ones. If you got Alligator and Nick.
Well, they got an Animaniacs one.
Oh gosh.
It's like I get down on a lot of modern Star Wars stuff.
What's going on with the
rebooted
that? I thought they were doing a newer version of Animaniacs.
Okay, so this was just breaking yesterday. Rob Paulson is doing voices for, and Pinky and the Brain is coming back. He's doing voices at home.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like something where I guess it was another thing that got delayed because of the cough, and yeah, he's doing voices at home.
So now
Archer's coming back for that too.
What was that?
Maurice LaMarche is coming back?
I think so,
for-
because that's who I think he's the one who first said they were coming back to begin with.
Well, they obviously
great.
don't have any animosity between the two of them because they're like 5 feet away from each other at the Comic-Con when I got that picture.
Well, yeah, well, not only that, Spielberg's producing too, so whatever, it's all. From what I remember reading the story, it was just supposed to be. It's not even like they're going to redo anything. It's just going to be like new seasons almost or whatever. I mean, I'm sure they'll
like
use
a revival.
Yeah, a revival. Thank you.
But are they
now
going?
All we have to do is
they're only doing
get
Pinky and the
Freakazoid.
Brain. They're not doing the entire Animaniacs.
They are doing Animaniacs and Pinky in the Brain, but or I don't know how far behind Animaniacs is though.
Are they going to be? Are they going to be like toned down because like?
I don't know. They might.
I don't know what writing staff is on there yet, but if they got guys like Paul Rugg and some of the original ones, I doubt.
Oh, and you want to know why we probably also haven't heard too much? This is probably going to be for HBO Max. How much you want to bet?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's where the Gizmo cartoon's going to be. And Joe Dante's actually going to be working on that now, I guess. And hope to God somebody reminded them that his name wasn't Gizmo until the fucking movie.
Yeah, that would be... Yeah, well, wait, they're saying the Gizmo's a prequel, too?
Yes, it's a story about when Wing finds him as a kid or whatever, or a young adult.
I was wondering why he had him.
Yeah, so it's the whole story about however he came across him. See, here's the funny thing. I wrote an outline for a Gremlins 3 years ago, and it actually had a bunch of flashbacks to how Wing found him, and I had it take place. He was a kid in World War II, and he found a little colony of Mogwai in a cave, and he takes them all out, and all of them end up turning into gremlins throughout the little flashback stories, except for Gizmo. That's how he learns all the rules. And then, of course, he's responsible for the gremlins being in World War II. We also have a little bit in there, a little joke with young Futterman was also in my story.
Oh, that's not bad. That's
And
quite
then,
organized.
well, yeah, like the beginning, how it starts out is this: it starts out as a cartoon, and it's the Adventures of Gizmo, and then you flash out from the cartoon, kind of like how Mrs. Doubtfire does, and you got Howie Mandel doing the voice of Gizmo in the cartoon. And then you pan from him doing the little voice to Billy and two other guys sitting in like a studio thing. And he's like making an animated show. Because remember at the end of Gremlins 2, Clamp's like, I can see this character with suction cups. So he's got, an animated cartoon that's all famous of Gizmo. Well, of course, now that Gizmo's all famous and everybody knows about him, there's some people who are interested in the whole Gremlins thing. So they go back to Kingston Falls. They go into their police basement. And in the basement, they still have what was left of the goop of Stripe in a fucking petri dish jar thing.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So they take that back to a lab and they end up recreating Stripe from his DNA. So Stripe comes back. So we got Stripe back. And then so they go to Billy and they want to find out what the fuck the Mogwai is. So they ask him if they can take the Mogwai for a little while to test the Mogwai, to see what the hell, they're all about. Billy reluctantly says yes, but he's like, I got to go with you, And then, of course, everything goes wrong from there. But yeah, throughout this, we get kind of flashbacks because we bring in the little boy who sold the Mogwai. Of course, he's an adult now, and he tells the story of what his grandfather told him of how he found Gizmo. And it was with the colony of 4 other Mogwai, and that's how he learned, or it was 4 Mogwai altogether, but the other 3 are how he learned all the rules. So, yeah.
So, what sort of angle do you have for like Phoebe Cates' character of the terrible father stories?
No, well that. Well, here was the thing was because I can't remember what the hell there was some clamp thing that goes on in one version, and I think I changed it because so I have everybody separated in one version and I did, and then they were all then it was because Phoebe Cates' character was they had a daughter in the version I did because they got married and everything afterwards. But now that's the problem. She'd be an adult by now. Like in my version, she was still a kid. Mm-hmm. So like by the end of the movie, you have they have the kid and Gizmo off, missing with all these gremlins taking over the entire world kind of thing. And yeah, it's like this big mass, like, because you find out what it was is this company ends up trying to make Gizmos, like mass produce them to sell them as pets.
Brilliant. That nothing's gonna go wrong there.
Exactly. Like, so it's like, and they do this under Billy's fucking nose because they find out he doesn't own the patent on Mogwai.
Now, let me ask you a question because you probably know more about this shit than I do because you get into all this. When the whole feeding them, don't feed them after midnight. Technically, it's always after midnight.
Yeah, it's a joke.
And you're not from the original place. I always thought that like wherever they originated from, that was the time zone you had to go at midnight from.
It was kind of supposed to be a whole my original recollections from the interviews and stuff, the whole after midnight thing was just kind of supposed to be that magical fantasy element. That everything else makes sense, about the gremlins. That one thing is the magical, like, ooh, you can't feed them after midnight because it's creepy after midnight. But
also,
like they
like
actually
peak moon hour, like
that kind of a thing, to where it's the lunar, it's at the highest and blah blah blah. Because the whole thing is they're supposed to come from outer space. If you get the original novel that's based off the screenplay, they're actually from another planet somewhere, and that's the whole reason why they don't have water on their planet. They don't have a yellow sun. They don't have all these things on there to why when they come here they're allergic to sunlight. Water makes them multiply. And when they eat after a certain time or whatever, then that turns them into.
So they basically Highlander 2'd it.
Kind of. Well, that was just the idea they came up for a backstory. But the other cool part about that novel is it's got a little flashback scene in the beginning of the novel that kicks off the novel that has nothing to do with the movie, and it's not in the movie. But it's 2 World War II pilots who keep seeing a gremlin in the corner of their eye, and then the end of the little chapter they go down. And then
that would be perfect for a movie too, because I'm just picturing how like goofy the gremlins could get, and they would totally screw it.
Oh, in the original story, they were vicious as fuck. Like even in the book, they still carry over some of that from the screenplay. Like the original script's out there. If you can find the original script, it's hardly anything like the movie. Like it's Billy's younger. Gizmo is not really Gizmo. He turns into Stripe Gremlin. There's those 2 characters are one and the same. Billy hates Gizmo. He ends up like the gremlins don't like to be separated. They have this anxiety issue with like when they get separated, so that's how they end up killing him at the end. Is they capture one and they drag him to this warehouse. It's a lot like Critters too. It's weird. And then like the other bit in it that's funny is the McDonald's scene. They eat all the people, but they leave the hamburgers.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and Billy's mom gets her head chopped off. And they eat the dog after midnight. That's how they turn into gremlins.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like a straight up horror movie in the original script.
Yeah, it is.
Mexican Iron Man sent us $19.99, Rob. Rob, are you there? We lost.
Yeah, I'm here. My mic was muted. Hold on. My mic was muted. Mexican Iron Man. I'm here.
Olé!
Point of personal Mexican privilege. How do we guarantee Mexican representation on the new High Republic High Council? My people are get high industry leaders. So we call Kathy? Note, I offer Cheech and Chong as Force Ghosts.
I would love to see Tommy Chong as a Force Ghost. That would get me into it.
He looks like Obi-Wan.
He's like, hey man, I'm blue.
The Force is strong, man. It combines us and penetrates us. And
I don't even.
You want to go get high?
Oh, Cheech, you're here, man.
Cheech, where are you, man?
Hey,
It'd
Holmes.
be funny. Have Chong look over at Anakin and be like, "How'd you get young again, man?"
Oh man, he got the Benjamin Button disease. Don't you know that?
Do you know Santa Claus, Cheech?
Oh yeah, man, I know that Vato. Yeah.
And you know his old lady too.
Crap, you
Yeah,
were really good at that.
the best brownies in town, man. You know, man, they were so good. I couldn't even finish just one, man. This is what they like to
do that well. Can you sing Mexican Americans don't like to get into gang fights? They like flowers and white girls named W2.
Mexican Americans love education, so they go to night school, take Spanish, they get a B. Mexican Americans like their nanas and the nonos and the ninas and the nina nonos and have a son-in-law named Jeff.
And that's what it, man. Yeah. Hey, man, I like it. It was like a protest. Yeah, man, it's like a protest song, man.
I love it that he did that live when I seen him.
Beaners.
I really love that since Cheech Marin was on Nash Bridges, they had Tommy Chong come on for an episode, and he was like growing weed for the triads or something. He was like, "Yeah, I got a prescription." He's like, "It's for depression. I get depressed if I don't smoke weed, man."
I heard some shit they're talking about bringing a revival of Nash Bridges back.
Really?
I thought I heard that.
Recast though, right?
No. I heard that
Racist, problematic, toxic men.
Oh,
Oh my
God. Breeze back. Thundercats host sent us 2 pounds. Yeah, 2 pounds.
2 pounds? Yep. Okay. Thundercats ho! All your live streams are keeping me sane. Thanks.
Well, thank you for joining us. If it wasn't for you guys, we're still going because there's almost 200 of you guys still watching. Otherwise, we would have quit probably like a half hour, 45 minutes.
Years ago.
Yeah. Well, years, yes. But I mean, right now, even so. So, Echo Base Network says, LOL, we use that in our Mexican Iron Man videos. Mexican Iron Man, he's a true Mexican hero.
Yes, he is. A real Mexican hero.
Olé.
Iron Man is there.
Mexican Iron Man is there. Exactly.
Hey, I guarantee you down in Mexico, they probably have a pack of G.I. Joes with Iron Man in it. So, hey, there's Gary. I sent you the link a long time ago, Gary. I didn't know if you guys were around. And yes, the return of Margarito.
The X-Men.
He's the one who, when we were talking about it before, he was here during the inception of the X-Men. And we said Magneto's got to be Margarito. Marguerite Tanito. I think I think we figured out it was Margarito. Margarito, yeah.
Margarito.
Yeah.
Juanita Gray.
Yeah, Juanita Gray. Professor Javier.
Professor Carlos Javier. Professor El Ciclopto.
And El Ciclopto. What do we call Wolverine? I forgot.
Los Lobo, I guess. I don't know.
Nelson Sherrera. That's $2. Rob, Gundam or Veritech, the better mecha? I think he means mecha. Or is it mecha?
That's a tough one. A Gundam's more powerful, but a Veritech is more versatile. Has more practical applications. Use it as an airplane, or you can use it as a battle robot.
That's right. Everybody could use a battle robot, especially right now. Especially when they're gonna come for your toilet paper. They ain't gonna fuck with you if you got a battle robot.
I got a machete.
I got one too for Christmas.
I just have a collection of baseball bats.
The more aluminum, the better.
Wouldn't Nyla Shadow says, wouldn't Wolverine be La Chupacabra?
There you go. That's a good one.
That's Goat Sucker.
Close enough.
Now we used to call him Guy Jin, like Gaijin.
Yeah, Guy. Doesn't Gaijin? I think Gaijin just means foreigner.
I think so. Because originally in the comic they claimed it meant like white ghost or something, and that was like totally wrong. I remember that because I used to read the Wolverine.
But he's from Mexico, so in the X-Men he's just homeboy.
Yeah. Gaijin is Japanese for foreigner or non-Japanese national.
So they're just calling him a honky.
God, we're so fucking racist.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mexican Iron Man gave us the pass, okay? He invested in it. So
that's right.
I'll give him Iron. That's hard to say. Mexican Iron Man would have a great paint job.
That's on the house, Mexican Iron Man.
Olé!
Hooray! That one's
You
on
need
the
to get
house.
you and I, and yeah, we need to do that at the end. Just a big olé.
Margarita Nito.
There, yeah, I love his paint job on his Iron Man. Isn't that cool? That's what Jesse was talking about. Yeah.
Do you remember Boondock Saints 2, where he had those two guns with the Mexican flags on them?
Margarita Nito. That's what it was. Yes. There we go. Yeah, you're right, Nerdrotic, Gary. Yes. Hop in if you got time. I gave you this. We're not gonna be on for much longer anyway. But so, hop in and say hi. Have you even talked to Jesse since Vegas, Gary?
Probably not.
I was gonna say I don't think you guys have crossed over since then. So it'd almost be like a reunion. We just got to get Clint Howard. Script doctor, you pretend you're Clint Howard.
I will get Clint Howard to appear eventually.
Clint Howard, he just goes around, oh, that's awesome, that's amazing. And he just tells some really great story for like 15, 20 minutes.
Clint. Oh, Clint.
You know, they didn't have any. They didn't care.
Cool
they gave me that bear. They handed me the chain. That thing could have drugged me across the stage and killed me. And then they didn't do a goddamn thing about it. Oh, but now when they brought out the cats, that's when they brought out the guns. That's exactly what he fucking said. Ask Jesse. We were there. He was there.
Yeah, security came up to the hotel room because they thought we had abducted him. Once they saw he was like, just sitting there chilling, they were like, "Oh, what would they even say? Like, we're working on the casino or something." We're like, "Why are you here?"
We're like half,
being sold. Yeah,
we were like half convinced by the time it was over that that's what it was. He saw Clint. The security saw Clint Howard going up to a room with a bunch of guys and a girl hours ago. And they're probably just trying to make sure we didn't kidnap. That was our guess.
We're making a movie.
We're making a porno with Clint Howard. Get the fuck out, dude. No, we're just here trying to hide all the pot. I'm like, hide the pot, hide the pot.
They said it was going to be sold to Bally's, but no, it's that's their cover. Yeah, it's still owned by Caesars, according to.
It never happened.
Yeah, then he just starts talking about all kinds of crazy shit. Just like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That guy. When we said, you said Vic Mignogna got Me Too. That guy.
Whatever.
Yeah, how did it start? It started.
He goes, personally, I always thought he was gay. That's what he said. Because didn't he lean over to you, Jesse, when he said that? Or wait, Rob, you were sitting next to him, I thought. Or who was sitting next to him? Was it you, Jesse, or Rob? I can't remember now. Because I was on the end of the table.
Rob was closer. I think Jesse was next to him.
I was going to say, I was sitting next to Jesse. So
Yeah, because Rob and I were by the window.
And he was like adjacent from me.
The Midnight's Edge Presidential Suite, as I call it.
I don't think Clint Howard realizes what an impact he's made on all of us.
No, I emailed him a couple times. I've only heard back from him once, but you said you heard back from him the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, just the other day, because I had invited him to a stream and he was having movie night with his family.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to bug him too much, but
nah, that's cool though. He's cool though.
And then I was talking to Vincent Pereira.
It's totally normal.
I gave Vincent Pereira his info, but
that's the man. That was a fun ass trip.
Yeah, too bad we can't do anything like that anytime soon. But
yeah, I miss those days. That was a hell of a day, man. I mean,
next time I have a vacation free is probably gonna be in the beginning of November or something. Because this summer I have one.
And then you got stuck in an elevator with Q, Jesse.
Yeah, because it's like I just wanted to get up to my room, right? And whatever, go take a shower. And the elevator was closing, so I just hit the door and it opened. And I walk in and it's just Q in there. And I'm like, I was on high strangeness at the time, but I had my mic muted and I had my camera muted. So I was like, "Hi, how you doing?" And he was tired as hell. But I was like, "I'm on a live stream right now. You want to say hi to everybody?" He was like, "Not really. I'm just beat." So I was like, "That's cool. It's muted and it's off." He was like, "Good. That's cool." He was nice. He was just beat. He was tired as shit. They worked that dude all the days that he's so popular that all the days he's there, he never gets a break.
Yeah, and then they monitor how long like the celebrities are on the appearances too. Like if they have to be at certain places and certain times.
So they're not violating their contract.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. That's what all this for.
I remember. Yeah, I remember freaking. I remember Ralph from the Howard Stern show. He actually started going out with Terry Farrell from Deep Space Nine, Dax, because he was at a convention, and they started dating. I was like, "You're right," and Howard's like, "You and her? Come on!" It's like, "No, Howard, no, really." Yeah. Anyway, so
I suppose.
Graham Strauss, millennials qualification begins in 1983. I say if you remember Nirvana, you're not a millennial.
Yeah, 1993 maybe is closer to the actual time.
I remember the day I was in high school when Kurt Cobain died. I remember hearing it on the way to school that morning.
Oh yeah,
on the radio.
I remember when grunge came around and I hated it. So when
I still remember.
I thought it was pretty funny because I figured maybe music would get better.
I still remember.
The 80s were fun, man. People made cool music in the 80s. Then in the 90s, everybody was like, I'm not going to shower, and I'm going to be depressed, and my music is slow and kind of lazy, but it's heavy-ish. Just like, go escapism, bro. Escapism.
See, that's why I went back and listened to like a lot of the shit that I did in the 90s. I was listening to a lot of Ramones in the 90s, Frank Black, the alternative stuff, Dead Milkmen, Ween. I was listening to funny things. They Might Be Giants. Because the grunge shit was shit. I didn't like Pearl Jam when they came out. I didn't like...
the only Pearl Jam song I really like is the Evolution song.
No, never. So much. And they're still playing the same goddamn two songs that they did in 1992. Like, fuck off with Pearl Jam. I don't want to hear about how Jeremy spoke in class today. Because guess what? Nobody gets the fucking lyrics to that right either. They always say Jeremy spoken, and that's not what it's saying, you stupid. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Who's the Buddha?
They're not the Rolling Stones.
No, I was listening to Material Issue, and there's a deep dive. There's a deep cut. Nobody remembers them. Material Issue, and
I remember them. I'd have to hear them.
I was listening to
Matthew Sweet last night. We were talking about him because Pete was talking about Matthew Sweet.
Yeah, well, no, Pearl Jam just wishes they were Stone Temple Pilots. That's what.
Yeah, I can't believe he died, man. He got in with Velvet Revolver and he got all clean, and he had this kickboxing coach that was like really on his ass, and he just got back into it and died like almost instantly.
Yeah, because STP was basically Pearl Jam with some nuts.
I liked Big Bang Baby. Do you remember the video for that?
Yeah. Wasn't that one of the later ones?
Yeah, it was. It was a fun song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody plays that anymore. Oh my god, they're still playing fucking Dead and Bloated on Stone Temple Pilots because they can't play Sex Type Thing because that's too rapey now, and they can't play Creep because that one got played to fucking death. So now they're playing Dead and Bloated. I'm like, do they have other albums? We play Vaseline once in a fucking while.
I did hear Vaseline the other day, but that was on a satellite. But they also played Dead and Bloated too. So
yeah, they've been playing like every time I would get in the car for the past 6 months. They're playing Dead and Bloated on the radio or some Foo Fighters song, and all Foo Fighters songs sound the same to me.
They do now. I'll give you that, Mecca, because that was sad because I really dug it when they first got going. Because there's a few of their earlier songs in the Foo Fighters. I'm like, some of this shit was better than Nirvana.
Yeah, the thing I never understood about the Foo Fighters was that Dave Grohl, like, I'm not a Nirvana fan, I'm not, but he was a great drummer for Nirvana. He was the best part of the band as far as I'm concerned. And he moves over to guitar, and he's just an average guitar player. Like,
oh yeah,
but he's a great front man. That's why. I mean, now, the Foo Fighters have kind of become like this joke onto what they used to be, kind of in a way. But No, back when they first got going, I was kind of like impressed with them.
Well, Jerry Casale from Devo actually directed the video for I'll Stick Around, I think is the name of the song. The one where they're bouncing up and down, I Don't Know You Anything. He actually directed that one. And that was kind of an interesting way to do the video for it. I kind of remember that song, but I was never a big Foo Fighters person. And I know they also brought over Pat Smear, who was like the guy in the acoustic Nirvana stuff. He was also part of 45 Grave before then. So
Pat Smear is not a good name.
The song you're talking about is Monkey Wrench. And that's actually one of my favorite Foo Fighters songs, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I don't want to be a monkey
I
wrench.
don't know you.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
Oh.
Yeah, unless there's a different song they have with the same name.
I don't know.
Because there's that
I
part
think
in
it's
that
called I'll
song.
Stick Around or something like
Oh,
that.
maybe. They might have one there.
It was one. It was like their first song. I think it was like their first song they ever did. But that's all I remember. And then they had Big Me, and then I'm like, okay, that's all. The video's better than the song, and then But I was listening to a lot more stuff like Marilyn Manson by like the mid '90s. So
I liked White Zombie.
yeah, I was getting back into like the heavier stuff because like for the beginning of the '90s, heavy metal was shit. And you can't tell me it wasn't. It just got really pussified. And I started listening to like Frank Black because he was heavier than heavy metal, and Babes in Toyland and a lot of that stuff. I was getting a lot of my music off of Beavis and Butthead, basically, because it was stuff I would never hear.
Okay, funniest song I've ever seen on Beavis and Butthead was "Stick It In and Pull It Out, Do the Ultra Twist."
That's the Cramps.
Who is that?
That's the Cramps. Yeah, they were great. Well, they also did Bikini Girls and Machine Guns, and they had some really good. They had some good stuff.
I remember Ringo said they asked Ringo when he was on Arsenio Hall. Says, "Who do you listen to now?" He goes, "I like the Cramps." And he goes, "That's the first time someone said something and nobody clapped."
Hey,
pop music's garbage.
Bloodhound Gang had a couple of funny ass songs, but most of their stuff wasn't that great. But when they were funny, they were very funny.
I love the Bloodhound Gang.
Oh yeah, they were good.
They got a little stupid near the end there, but
They had 2 solid albums though.
shit, actually
Every
3.
channel was classic.
No, I didn't hear the third one. I know. I like the 2 I got.
Which ones do you have?
The first 2.
So you have
The one with the one with Fire, Water, Burn, and then the one with the Bad Touch.
That's actually their third album.
Okay, we'll have those 2.
Yeah, the one before those 2 is actually really good too, and it's the hell's the name of it?
Yeah,
that one's got You're Pretty When I'm Drunk and a few other ones on it. Oh, what the hell's it called?
I don't know.
The Bad Touch. Something completely different now.
Yeah.
MOD was really funny too. I like their stuff a lot. Yeah, Hooray for Boobies.
Well, Hooray for Boobies was the third album.
Yeah, that's
actually technically like the 5th because they had like a cassette demo that got turned into the first album, and then they had One Fierce Beer Coaster, Hooray for Boobies, and then the one with the song on it, and then they're pretty much done.
Hey, Hooray for Boobies! You just guaranteed now only Picard's going to show up.
This is true.
Because it's the favorite song ever. Hooray for Boobies!
Oh, I gotta look up the name of this album because it's bothering the piss out of me. I can't remember what it was called. Use Your Fingers. That's what it was called.
It's like me trying to remember that first White Zombie album before Les Sexorcisto, Devil Music. There's something. What was the first one before that?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I saw it. I never actually grabbed it. I saw it used somewhere, like the cassette of it. I kind of wish I would have.
That girl, Sean Izu, the bass player, she's the one who came up with like the whole look for the band because she was a photographer. She still does art. I just read a recent thing on her because I looked up why the hell that band stopped being a band.
Wasn't it because she broke up with her and Rob Zombie broke up or something stupid like that?
I don't think they were dating. I just think
I remember hearing that they were dating way back in like the early days.
It's possible. But I always thought it was funny that they broke up because like he was never the same without White Zombie, in my opinion.
I definitely prefer the White Zombie era, I think, than the Rob Zombie era. But keep in mind, I didn't really like the second album when it came out too much because I'm still not a big More Human Than Human fan because it's a little too rappy for my taste.
Yep.
But yeah, I liked the first big album when that one came out.
Adam Wolford sent $2. Said, "Hey Tom, check Twitter from Weapon 9901. I don't know if you just want me to follow you. I did that. All right. Otherwise, if you sent a message, I did not get it yet. Nelson Sharita sends us $2. Our favorite Weird Al song. And then we'll answer that here. But first, we'll get to this. Stephanie Littlepage sent us $5. What's up, my peeps? We're now at Super 8, which seems to have better Wi-Fi than Motel 6. Well, that's good to know. Stephanie, of course, is with Captain Robert Aper, who says Dune Buggays. So yeah, favorite Weird Al song, Jesse?
A million of them. Tinfoil is amazing.
I was gonna say let's go with non-parody songs. How about that? That makes it a little easier. So
it's originals. Dare to be
yeah.
Stupid.
The Night Santa Went Crazy.
What'd you say, Mecca? I didn't hear which one you said.
Dare to be Stupid for originals.
Dare to be Stupid. All right, yeah, that's a really good one. Script Doctor.
Oh crap. There's an intergalactic aliens from outer space thing. Crap. Oh wait. Yes, something from outer space. I can't remember. It's from the Dare to Be Stupid album. There's I think slime creatures from outer space or something.
Slime creatures from outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rob.
Kind of like Albuquerque.
That's a good one. I like Dare to Be Stupid, but since Mecca picked that, I'm gonna go Nature Trail of Hell, also on Dare to Be Stupid. That's a great album.
Yeah. Yoda on that one. That was a great song.
That was one I was just looking up to try to find out what the hell the title of that song was.
Nature Trail to Hell has got to be one of his most overlooked, amazing, hilarious motherfucking songs.
What's the name of the one? Where I think it's an original.
I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm sorry, Mecca. Nature Trail to Hell is in 3D. That's on in 3D.
I thought that, but I don't want to be wrong.
Because I just remember that because it's Nature Trail to Hell.
Yeah.
In 3D.
I always forget that in 3D is an album too, though.
I know.
Yeah. Yep.
That one and Polka Party, I always forget about.
Sorry, Mecca. You were saying before I interrupted you.
I forget.
I apologize.
Right.
I apologize.
I like the Night That Santa Went Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The night Santa went.
You get the extra gory version on. Is it one of the singles?
Is it really? I didn't know that. I'll have to check
or is
that
it
out.
only there's one version? Well, there's one on the album. Then there's
It's got to be
version.
on YouTube.
Yeah, because
the fact that there was never a music video to that one disappointed me.
The Night Santa Went Crazy.
I never saw an official music video.
I thought he did have one animated.
A music video, yeah.
I've seen other people animate a music video to it, but I never saw.
Oh, I thought he released one on his official. Maybe it was one I saw that I thought was, but it was just maybe not. This is the Life is a good one too. That's from Johnny Dangerously.
What about your favorite Weird Al song that is a parody?
Oh, there's so many.
I was just thinking about Everything You Know Is Wrong. That was another original one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like
It's an original. That's a great one. That's like
I think that the king of all his parodies has to go down to the episode 1 he did with
the Saga Begins.
Pie. The Saga Begins. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of it.
Yeah, that was a serious spoiler song.
Yeah. Well, because he got to see the movie before it came out to make sure he was in line with the story, with the lyrics. So.
But he tells
he did a palindrome song where every line's a palindrome. That was pretty impressive.
Mm.
Well, that's because he's like a fucking genius.
I like this one that was in the style of Genius in France is basically in the style of Frank Zappa.
No, I'm not even kidding because he graduated high school when he was like 13, 14, maybe 15 years old, something
Doesn't
like
he
that.
have an architecture degree?
Yeah, he has like a degree and a bunch of shit, and he went to college early and all this crap. And
that's where he got his name, Weird Al, in college.
It's amazing.
Like I remember him telling the story. He's like, I knew how Doogie Howser felt, shit like that. He's like, I was some young kid, and all these kids are like that much older than me and shit.
On one of my videos, I think the PlayStation 5 video I did, I found a clip of him, but he's levitating a metal ball, and then he just turns and it slides out of his sleeve, and it's a big soup ladle when he sticks.
Yeah, I seen that.
It's good at stupid shit like that. It's a very entertaining fellow. And he looks younger every year. What the hell is up with Weird Al?
I don't. He eats
He
babies.
shaved
or
the
something.
mustache. That's why.
Yeah, he eats babies or something.
He's
Yeah,
like
he's
how
doing videos.
like 50 something though, right?
Oh yeah, he's in his 50s easily. No, he's doing videos where he's just playing the accordion on his balcony.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Mhm.
This shit is complicated.
Well, he recorded another one. Rides the bus in a bathroom.
Yep. That was the trick back in the day.
It was so he could get a recording for Dr. Demento.
That's cool. Yeah, he has such a weirdest start to his story. It's just like,
well, he's like the novelty that kept on going.
Well,
like everybody expected, oh yeah, this is the one where the novelty's going to wear off, and then 10 albums later, he's still going. And I think the reason how he did that was, well, of course, the parodies always kind of kept him relevant, but he didn't do a million albums at once either. Yeah, in the beginning, he kind of overdid a little bit, and I think that's where he realized, I may be oversaturating myself. Because he's not stupid. And then on top of that, beside his parodies, his original songs are amazing. Like, I mean, the guy's not just a genius, but a musical genius. Fuck Kanye West. Weird Al Yankovic is definitely a musical genius.
I agree.
Weird Al Yankovic also has a sense of humor that Kanye West will never get.
Well, yeah.
Is it okay to, if you were to show some of Weird Al ripping it up on like a accordion?
We'd probably get a claim, but you know what? Because we had that big old super chat, if one of y'all want to pick one of his to play real quick, we could do that on the way out. I don't see.
I don't know. How many jamming videos does he have? He was just on that new version of Scooby-Doo that's on Boomerang. He had an accordion camp. He was just playing the whole time. He played Fly the Bumblebee on an accordion. That's ridiculous.
There we go. We can do that. That's public domain, I think. David Jones says, I always find Clint Howard impressions sound like Wallace Shawn. Okay. I don't know. He's just, I mean, he's a funny guy. He's an amazing guy. I loved how he just was so accessible. He wasn't like really standoffish or nothing like that. So yeah. Jesse's just like, hey man, you want to go get something to eat? I gotta eat sometime. He's like, hey man, you want to go get high? He's like, hell yeah, I got a card.
Clint Howard is invincible.
Oh, he's a fucking national treasure.
It's got to be fun to be him because he can pretty much do whatever the hell he wants, wherever the hell he is. Like.
Well, and he knows everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to know every single major fucking, anybody.
Been in the business over 50 years. He better know everybody.
Yeah, it's before he could talk. Pretty much.
But first, the truck now.
That's what he wrote on my thing. How about some truck now? That's funny. All right, folks. Did any of you pick a Weird Al video yet?
I don't know. Let's see. I got the accordion Repo Man.
Well, like I said, the Bumblebee one is at least public domain.
Yeah, I'd like to hear him pull that off on an accordion. That'd be crazy.
That's the screaming from.
That's his dramatic yell.
We did a watch party at UHF.
Problem is, it's got the Scooby-Doo characters and it's copyrighted though. That's copyrighted.
The Flight of the Bumblebee one?
Well, no. Let's see. Hold on.
What's this one?
Weird Al Fly the Bumblebee. Hold on. Reggie Makes Music. Jack Black. Hold on.
This is no. It'd be on probably on his own YouTube channel. I'm guessing. Here, I think I'm subscribed to him. Hang on. Rob. You know, I don't know what to do with you sometimes.
You're fired. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
All right, I'll just go back to watch quicksand porn.
I figured. Hey, Jane Theory, how you doing? We're just fucking around. We're about to end this here. We got it all. We got it all on UHF. That's like got to be one of Weird Al's hardest fucking albums to find. I had to import the bastard. I don't know what the deal is with it. Probably because of Money for Nothing. But no, that can't be because that's on a bunch of his greatest hits. What the fuck's the deal with that one, Mecca? Why is that one so hard to get a hold of?
Well, I don't know. I've never had to look for it because I bought it when it came out.
I used to have it on tape back in the day, but and then
I found it on CD like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't have it on CD, unfortunately, and I got lucky and got it for a decent price, but I was like, holy shit, when I seen the prices on that fucker for normal, I was like, whoa. But since I had it imported, I got it cheaper. It's the same CD, it's just, you know, I got it from Germany or whatever it was. But yeah, for some reason that one's like out of print, and when he did that box set years ago, I don't know. It's in there, but it's not like available separately. What'd you just say?
Somebody
Rob?
else owns. Probably somebody else owns the rights, or was released on a different label, maybe.
I don't know.
Here, I got something I haven't seen before, but you might be able to play that one. Do you want me to share it, or you want me to
go ahead?
Chat? All right. Buttons, buttons, buttons. I don't know this other guy though.
Oh, you didn't share the audio, dude.
That's John Baptiste from Colbert.
You didn't share the audio though.
I didn't. Stop. Oh, damn it. Hold on.
Oh, so it's probably from the Colbert show. That's what it's from, I bet.
Let me reshare.
Coden, the librarian. Don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?
Click the little button for share audio.
There you go. There you go. Now you got it muted.
John. Weird. Wait, how does that one go again?
Okay, it starts with an A minor, then it goes to C, and then it goes to F like a bar.
Oh, yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was all right.
Yeah. I want to buy an accordion. It looks like it's really complicated to learn.
I never tried.
All right, folks. That's been our special social distancing on First Contact Day. Rob, give me some music.
All right. Music. Outgoing. We normally do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Sunday, we'll see you next time.
Just when you think this show is terrible, something